stories unfold, and the chat's got soul. From the gavel to the gas, we're watching it all. Covering the courtroom, big case or small. Laugh when we can, cry when we must, but it's all real talk, you can count on us. We're not the pros, just fans who care. With popcorn in hand and a comfy chair. And every twist, we're right there. Together like we're all in the witness chair. This is the Broken Baker, where the trials come alive, where the chat is wild and the vibes survive. We're watching the worst of what people do, but we keep it light, yeah, that's our truth. It's the only place for crime, and it feels just right. We bring the justice talk into your night. So hit that stream, don't miss the call. At the Broken Baker, we cover it all. Oh yeah. We're just flaming with the view, but we ask the things the world wants to. Digging through the facts, side by side. Even when it's dark, we bring the light. No clickbait, no fake feels, just truth and the highs and the reels. With the chat that roasts and writes, we're just here for the case and the vibes. This is the Broken Baker, where the stories unfold, with a smile in the heart, even when it's cold. Yeah, we cover the bad with a wink and a grin. Where the real talk starts, come on, jump in. It's the only place to be, can't you see? For trials and truth, it's BBTV. The Broken Baker, where the trials come alive. Yeah, we'll be here, trial and the trial. Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome back after hopefully a nice long weekend where you was asking everyone you met, hey, is the sun out? True. Can you go to Costco? True. Did you get me at Dunkin's? True. Because that's how you ask questions and irritate everyone on the planet. And hopefully today we will talk more about cell towers, and we will see more flashes on a screen that shows us something that no one knows what is, and we will keep staying the only channel who thinks they didn't prove anything, because everyone else apparently believes that he's absolutely guilty. I still can't really see they have reached anywhere beyond a reasonable doubt. Them driving to a place together doesn't make him drag her into the woods and unaliving her, in my book. But what do I know? I am but a Dutchman, and apparently we are wrong, everyone else is right. On the other side, if you haven't seen my earlier video today, thank you all so very, very much, because I've been in contact with Carmen over the weekend after our fundraiser, and it looks like when all the money is subtracted for this and that, and the money is going to be paid out to her, that she reached her goal so she can get what she wants. Not only what she needs, but what she wants. She'll get the good equipment, and there'll be a little more money so she can get an extra pair of boots and stuff like that, so she is safe a little further down the line. We have talked about when she gets the stuff, we're going to do an unpacking video. We're going to dual stream it with her mom, alternate juror. Get to some more of you should get to know her, because she is an absolutely wonderful streamer who kind of do the early evening shift if you need more true crime after watching true crime all day. But thank you all so much for your generosity. You are really making a difference in her life, and she's probably not gonna start crap after you have been generous to her. Hello, Nikki. And I wish I could remember your name. People call you Baconator all the time. People call me Micronator. Well, thank you, Holly. Yeah, you are a beyond awesome crew, and a lot of people have been so nice to keep asking for the link. Apparently, the link in the video, I don't know, it's some new QR system that we have on StreamYard. Apparently, it didn't work that well, and a lot of people kept asking. So I reached out and said, people are really, really, really interested to know if you need more, then let them know. And she said, no, I should be well within the limits that we need to get the stuff I need. And she is very humble. She's very grateful, and she had a really hard time asking me to ask all of you wonderful people to step up and help her. So she doesn't want to do the, hey, I'm just going to fundraise the crap out of this, and then me and my partner can go to Aruba in the winter. I would just wish I had a partner so I could go to Aruba and then I'll fundraise that, but sadly I don't. But thank you all so very much. I have been a little disheartened over the last month, more or less, with all that's been going on. It's really hard to try and be positive about helping people and try to be positive about working with people when you see what happens when the numbers go away and everyone starts fighting to keep those numbers. And then doing something like this and seeing how amazing you people are and how you have a direct influence in someone's life makes me want to do this more and more. And thank you all so much for that, because sometimes you just get beaten down by all the anger, all the hate, you have to pick a side that's going on. And I don't want to pick a side. I like people. Some people I don't like, but I still like to work with them if we're working for the right cause. And that's really hard when you have to sit and listen to people every day in your YouTube feed about, hey, you should do this and you should say that. I'm just happy that we found a common goal and we had 3 hours of wonderful time together and we helped someone. And it's direct help. It's not something that may pay out a year down the line. This will probably be in a month or so. We will have her unpacking all the good stuff you got her. And we can, again, just celebrate how great you people are. Character over clickbait any day. Well, clickbait is good. I'm just a bad streamer. My daughter made her cat on Instagram. Chewbacca Chichi. I don't know. Hey, Jenny. So me being smart got into an online argument with Grok over Karen Reed, and I gave it to that crappy AI program. I really did so much. I insulted it and blocked it. I was, because Krusty O'Pandies had Karen Reed is absolutely guilty, right? Test. And I said, Grok, looking at the evidence, what is the probability that the biggest fragments of a tail light shows up 16 days after the smallest pieces? Well, it could be embedded. I said, no, there's no knowledge about anything being embedded. It was on top of snow, and there was no snow at the time. And at the end, I was just, but you have to fight Grok a lot. I had some Danish political matter about, this is going to be stupid, but that's because I'm an old politician and I had...
State versus Matthew Pahl, 23 CF 1438.
Remind me to tell the story. I
please.
Can't remind
Christy Gordon, Sue Opper, Detective Fredericks, and Christy Gussie for the state.
Attorney Gallivis here with Attorney Wolf and our client, Mr. Paul, sitting here to my right in custody. Good morning, Judge.
All right, good morning, everybody. The matter is here today for trial. We're continuing, I think we're day 7.
Thank you so much, Bukak.
The state is having direct examination with Detective Schrader, who I presume will be returned And anything else before we start this morning?
You
Ms.
just have
Gordon?
to really
No,
work
Judge, I think we
because it'll
are
do
all
the
set to go.
surface level,
All right.
and then
Can
you
we
will
just
have
maybe
to
test
fight
the
it.
equipment
get
before we bring the
further
jury
deeper.
out since we'll be
Sure,
starting?
and tell me, are you going to finish today?
Yes,
Okay, how many more witnesses after Detective Schrader?
we think just Detective Schrader.
Okay, all right.
I am so sorry to hear that, Major Mom. Even if it sounds weird, I hope that it was fast and painless, because that's how we all want to go. I don't know if it was expected, but condolences from us. We'll try and keep you entertained to take your mind off what happened. But thank you so much for sharing with us.
Unless something changes during the course of his testimony.
All right, you had anticipated another witness, but that witness is not going to testify.
No.
All right, Mr. Galavis, what's up? Anything from the defense?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, and you're prepared with your witnesses today, sir?
Well, we have witnesses. I just got to tell them to get here sooner than I thought.
Okay, all right, very good.
So you don't have
You need
witnesses.
to test your equipment, ma'am?
Yes, please.
All right, and go ahead.
Should we have another hour, George?
Yeah, we're about 1/3 of the way through the
1:30?
So 2 hours. 27 slides.
Okay,
I'm going to tell Dr. Goodar to be here by 11.
okay.
Okay. Before we bring the jurors, anything else from the state?
No.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, very good.
AML leukemia, about 3 months of symptoms, 1 month of diagnosis. He was in the hospital for a month. The last 2 days been comfort care. I was able to travel to. Well, I feel sorry, and I hope that they gave him as much comfort as they could at the hospital. It's never fun. It's never nice, but my mom ended in a hospice for the last 2 weeks, and that was a blessing. I think that bought my dad a couple of years extra. It's fine, Major Mom. I think it bought my dad some extra years because he was run down after spending 6 months taking care of her 24/7. So that hospice care in the end, I think, was godsend, that he didn't have to be the one taking care of her every day. And luckily for her and for him, she didn't really need pain coverage till the last 3 days is when my sister and I and my kids and my nephew went out to say hi to her, and 2 hours later she started she slipped away into a coma and woke up one more time. So as bad as it was good that it happened in peace, because other times it'll take longer and it'll be a bigger fight. Hey, Spice. Hey, Kim. Yes, they are amazing
Hey,
people.
Schrader, you can come on up, and then when the jurors come, we'll bring this up. Okay, please be seated, everybody. All 14 jurors are returned. Thank you very much for coming back, ladies and gentlemen. I trust you had a good weekend. I can report that I did not hide in the basement. I did hand out candy, but only 6 kids came to my house, that's all. I live in kind of a more rural area, so that's what happened. So let's swear in our witness.
We swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am. All right, have a seat, please. And you are still Detective David Schrader, correct? Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
All right, Detective, when we left off on Friday afternoon, we had made it in our timeline to August 27th, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me just a really brief kind of summary of what was important between August 23rd and August 26th before we get started back on August 27th?
Sure. Beginning August 23rd, I guess I'll start when both devices appear to leave 1001 Delafield Street the morning of August 23rd. They travel the general route to the Quick Trip at 2001 Gulf Road, and ultimately over to Orthopedic Associates on Gulf Road. Approximately 10:53 to 10:55 a.m., it appears the devices are moving back east, and both devices appear to return to 1001 Delafield. To my knowledge, Mr. Pahl enters the apartment building, and we do not see Ms. Pavlon's return. However, her device appeared to come back to 1001 Delafield or in that area. Later that afternoon, there's 2 outgoing calls made from Ms. Pavlon's cell phone. Both of those calls are to food card request. Moving on to August 24th, there's an outgoing call on Ms. Pavlon's device to the Pick and Save pharmacy. Mr. Pahl on August 24th messages Desierto indicating that he's worried about something. Moving on to August 25th, Mr. Pahl picks up a prescription at the Pick and Save pharmacy that belonged to Ms. Pavlon's. And he again.
Yes, the judge said on Friday that he was going to go home and hide in the basement so no one would come and what the hell is this? So no one would come and trick and treat at his house. He seems like a fun one.
Judge,
Messages.
I'm going to object to this narrative.
Overruled. You may respond. Go ahead.
And he messages Desierto again, indicating that he's worried. Moving on to August 26th, in the early morning hours, there's an email exchange between Mr. Pahl and Sherilyn Valente. In that email exchange, Mr. Pahl indicates that he can't talk much, something bad happened, and that she should not ask him through text about that. About that same time, there's a message sent from Mr. Pahl to Desierto on Skype, indicating that he woke up with a bad feeling. Evening hours of August 26th, there's, I believe, 3 missed Facebook calls to Ms. Pavlon's Facebook account from Layla. None of those are answered. Immediately following that, there's an incoming call on Ms. Pavlon's cell phone from Layla, and she leaves a voicemail. Generally speaking, she indicates she's in the hospital with a broken leg. About 15 minutes later, there's an outgoing call on Ms. Pavlon's device to check voicemail. And then Mr. Pahl sends a message to Desierto indicating that his niece had a broken leg. To my knowledge, I did not see any contact between Mr. Pahl's device and Layla. Later that night, there's an outgoing call from Matthew Pahl to Marvin Pahl. That outgoing call lasts several minutes. That's the first contact that I saw between their devices in over 2 months. After that call, there's a message to Desierto on Skype that he says, Matthew Pahl says that he had spoke to his father, that he's kind of worried as well.
Okay, thank you for that summary. Up to the point of August 26th, did you see any calls either from Mr. Pahl's phone or Ms. Pavlon's phone calling 911 or making any report to either the City of Waukesha Police or the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department?
No.
Okay. We can return again to Exhibit 202, please. I'm going to start on slide 57. That's in front of you now, Detective. What happens on August 27th?
The morning of August 27th, there's an incoming call on Matthew Pahl's device from Marvin Pahl. That call lasts approximately 1 hour and 23 minutes. During that call, there's some web searches that we recovered on Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. Those web searches are all made through the Yahoo search engine, and they include Stephanie Pavlon's missing persons, Waukesha, Wisconsin, and Stephanie Pavilion's missing woman.
As of August 27th, had Ms. Pavlon's been reported missing by anyone?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Next slide, please. What happens on August 28th?
There's a Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Desierto at approximately 7:19 a.m. Matthew Pahl says, in part, "Something happened, hon. I can't explain in text." And Desierto responds, "Was it related to the matter you were worried about?"
Detective, I want to ask you, we've seen a couple messages where Mr. Pahl has indicated he can't talk about this through text. Based on your experience in reviewing hundreds of cell phones and messages from criminal defendants, is it a common theme for individuals to not want to talk about any criminal activity over text message?
I'd agree with it.
Speculate that formal question.
Hang on. Overruled.
I'd agree with that statement.
Okay. What happens next?
There's some police scanner app usage on Matthew Pahl's device It's open from approximately 7:22 a.m. to 7:27 a.m. And then later in the morning, there's a Skype call between Matthew Pahl and Delafield. It's at about 9:04 a.m., and that call lasts approximately 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Now, Detective, we had a couple mentions of Mr. Pahl using a police scanner. What types of things occur over a police scanner?
General communications between law enforcement, dispatching to calls for service, any communication on a police radio.
Okay, and so if, say, a body was found or parties, law enforcement was responding to a crime scene, would that be aired over the radio?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. All right, next slide, please. What date are we on here?
August 28th, later in the morning, about 9:55 a.m. to 10:32 a.m. These are internet searches recovered from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. Search terms that were made through Yahoo: missing people list in Wisconsin 2021, Stephanie Pavilions, missing woman, and then there's several Facebook searches, mainly for Layla Pavlons. Appears to be Stephanie Pavlons with a spelling error. Stephanie Pavlons photos, again with a spelling error, and Georgianne Pavlons.
Do you know Georgianne and Layla Pavlons to be relatives of Stephanie Pavlons?
That's what I was told, yes.
Okay. Next slide. What happens on August 29th?
Morning of August 29th, the top two are web searches on Matthew Pahl's cell phone. There's a web visit to GM Today, the Waukesha obituaries page. Approximately 1 minute later, there's a search on GM Today for Pavlons.
And at this point on August 29th, has anyone reported Stephanie Pavlons missing or in trouble?
Not to my knowledge.
And at this point, does anyone, even law enforcement, know that Stephanie Pavlons is deceased?
No.
And what happens next?
There's two instances of police scanner app usage on Matthew Pahl's phone. They occur from approximately 10:34 p.m. to 10:40 p.m. and 11:22 p.m. to 11:27 p.m.
Next slide, please. Turning to August 30th, what did you find on Mr. Pahl and Ms. Pavlon's devices?
Agree.
So beginning August 30th, I started to see messages being sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Matthew Pahl's device. The first two are listed here. The top section is information that I obtained from Matthew Pahl's physical device. It shows that there's two incoming messages, both with what appear to be YouTube mobile links. And then the bottom section here is information from Ms. Pavlon's call detail record. Those RCSIM chats are essentially your multimedia messages. So it's showing that there's outgoing multimedia messages from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's device. The reason I referenced Ms. Pavlon's call detail record here is I did not observe these messages in her phone anymore.
So in order for those messages to not be in her phone, what would have to happen?
Either someone would have to delete them or a setting would have to be set to only retain messages for a certain amount of time and the phone would automatically delete them.
Okay. And I see, is that 8 messages outgoing from Ms. Pavlon's call detail records?
Yes, but that's not necessarily to say there's exactly 8 messages sent from her device. Sometimes you'll see multiple entries. Some of these are the exact same timestamps. So this would be what the network recorded, although they might not be 8 individual messages.
Okay. And in Mr. Pahl's device, you found 2 messages, including those links?
Correct.
So those messages were deleted from Ms. Pavlon's phone, but not from Mr. Pahl's phone?
Correct.
Next slide, please. What else happens on August 30th?
There's an incoming call on Ms. Pavlon's phone from what I believe to be Aurora Medical. What you're seeing in the top there is an incoming call on Ms. Pavlon's device, and then that same call being routed out to voicemail. So the incoming call obviously wasn't answered, and that call was directed to voicemail. Approximately 32 minutes later, there's an outgoing call on Ms. Pavlon's device to check voicemail.
Hey, Jamester, how are you doing? Did you have a nice weekend?
I did.
Yeah, we had a fundraiser. I know you didn't want to participate because you don't like Carmen and AJ, but we hit
You
our
guys
goal,
did
Jamie.
good. I know. I was watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for helping Holly Mack contribute as well.
My pleasure.
And and again, if you just came in a little bit later, we hit the goal. It seems like she has to see how much is being subtracted when she gets the payout, but we will do an unpacking video when she gets the equipment. Thank you all so much. Not only are we keeping Carmen safe, we are also giving AJ, not that AJ, some peace of mind when Carmen goes to work.
Yeah. So sweet.
If she was prone to threatening to unalive herself, wouldn't it be normal to see if she was still alive, especially if the parents didn't like him and maybe wouldn't tell him? Again, I could puncture some holes in this story. I'm just not sure that the defense will be able to do that. But apparently they have an expert in something that's going to come testify. So hopefully they will do some damage, because not that I don't think he could have done it, but I just don't think the state has done a good job of proving it. And that's
No.
the baseline. Reasonable doubt.
Well, and I was just, as I was trying to get logged in, I heard him say, did you hear that question about normally, from your experience, people aren't going to want to talk about criminal activity on their phones, right, officer? Like, what an
Yeah.
asinine question.
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
Duh. Oh my God.
Well, I hope this expert has DNA on a Red Rum device. Well, there's no Red Rum device. We don't know what Red Rum, if it even was a Red Rum. Did we not already cover all of this with a different witness? Why so much duplication? Because my everlasting theory, when you have a weak case, you do this. The pink piece is all the hard evidence you have, and then you'll just throw in a lot of not so good evidence. And when the jury goes back, they said, but they had all that evidence. Yeah, but how much of it did really point to him? Well, would you talk on the phone if you had done something criminal? Yeah, a lot of people does that, because, Jamie, how many cases have they downloaded stuff proving that someone did something bad?
All the
Just as
time.
yeah, that gets them most of the time. Diane G. Obfuscate. That's a $5 word.
Yeah, what does that mean? Right? Is it a real word?
Yeah, it means that you kind of blur the line, and you'll hide the nugget in a big pile of crap.
Good job, Sean. Clap, clap, clap. Because that's a good one.
I know Jamie went to the Ohio State, but still.
No, sometimes I need my Google.
And that outgoing call to check voicemail was deleted from her phone.
And these calls and messages that were both
And remember, deleting
sent
stuff doesn't mean
and
anything. Just ask
received
Jen
in
McCabe.
the outgoing call to the voicemail, did all of those occur at or near 1001 Delafield Street?
At this point, yes, I don't have any indication that the device left that area.
Okay. You also indicated that the voicemail, is it the voicemail itself that is deleted or the call to the voicemail that's deleted?
The call to check voicemail.
Okay. Next slide. Continuing on August 30th, what do we see here?
There's a Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Desierto at approximately 10:30 p.m. Desierto says, "Have you talked with your dad?" And then at approximately 10:36 p.m., Matthew Pahl says, "No, not today. The day before I did, but tomorrow I have to call him again. It's very important."
What happens next?
There's a Skype call between Matthew Pahl and Desierto. It's an incoming call on Matthew Pahl's device, and that call lasts approximately 45 minutes. It occurred at approximately 10:39 p.m.
Okay. Next slide, please. What happens on August 31st that was significant of this investigation?
There's additional web searches on Matthew Pahl's device between approximately 10:26 a.m. and 10:27 a.m. There's a web visit to GM Today, specifically the Waukesha obituaries page. Then there's a search on GM Today for Pavlons, and then an additional search, a web visit on Waukesha obituaries page on GM Today for Richard D. Pavlons.
Okay. What was unusual about these web searches that you've continued to see going forward from August 23rd all the way to now August 31st?
I'm not sure what you mean by unusual. What I did here is sometimes you'll see if somebody leaves a tab open that it's not actually an additional search, rather they just opened that tab again on their phone. So when I put these searches in the PowerPoint, I selected only ones that have different or unique spelling. So in this case, we saw that the search for Pavlons actually has a space after it. That's different than the last search for Pavlons.
So you can say that this is a new search, not just opening a new tab or opening the same tab over again.
Correct.
Okay, so this is a unique and different search from the searches you've seen before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about those incoming calls on Ms. Pavlon's device?
At approximately 2:39 p.m., there's an incoming call. It's from who I believe to be Delafield Dental, and there's a voicemail associated with that call. Approximately 1 minute later, that same call is routed out to voicemail.
Okay, if we can play the voicemail, please.
This message is for Stephanie. This is Katie calling from Delafield Dental. I was just calling to let you know we look forward to
We have heard this before. She was on the stand. Why are we duplicating everything?
seeing you this coming Friday, September 2nd at 12 p.m. for your new patient appointment. Again, that is this coming Friday, September 2nd at 2 p.m. Thank you, Stephanie. Have a great day.
So, Detective, that message was left on August 31st in reference to an appointment on September 2nd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next page, please.
They love to do that because they did that in the other case.
Detective,
with the lady
what are we
off
seeing?
herself. She had a dentist appointment, so why would she plan to
Why would
off herself?
unalive
If she
herself?
makes the best. Yeah, like if she has a dentist appointment. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're thinking, "Oh, come on now, get something."
Mhm.
That voice was I'm working calling people all day long and I hate my job voice.
Oh, you should hear my customer service voice. You'd be like, "Who's this girl?"
Hi, this is Jamester. I'm just calling to let you know that sadly again your oxycodone haven't been mailed to you. They disappeared. By the way, if you want to buy some Smoxycodone, I have some in street sales.
God. No.
Here.
So this is going to be another animation. It's on September 1st at approximately 7:13 a.m. This was the first time that I saw obvious movement on Ms. Pavlon's device moving away from the area of 1001 Delafield. The device generally is going to travel from the area, the Waukesha area, down to the area of Frederick Hospital. It does appear that both Matthew Pahl's device is traveling with Ms. Pavlon's device at this time.
Okay. So from August 23rd until September 1st, Ms. Pavlon's device remains at or near 1001 Delafield Street?
It appears to, yes.
Okay. And then on September 1st, when you observed that these devices traveled together away from the apartment, did you also endeavor to make sure that there was no surveillance video of Ms. Pavlon's exiting the apartment around the same time that these devices are leaving?
I didn't specifically do that, but to my knowledge, she's never seen again on the video at 1001 Delafield.
That was done by other detectives in the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department?
Yes, a number of people reviewed that video.
Okay. So you said this is going to be an animation, just like we saw before, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And please tell me about what exactly it is that we should be looking for on the map as far as the significant portion of the animation.
Yes, so you're going to see both blue marks pop up on the map. Those would be for Matthew Pahl's device. You're also going to see red marks pop up on the map. That would be for Ms. Pavlon's device. It's important to note.
Jamie, can you use your customer support voice on Brandon and say, stay out of the water?
What is he saying?
Well, apparently he's... Jamie, we're not laughing at Brandon when he's in that mood. You have to be supportive.
Don't walk into the ocean. Well,
No, Jamie, don't tell him to unalive himself. We got in trouble last week when you... just do it quietly. That's not nice, Jamie.
yeah. Could you not talk about it so much and just give? No, I'm kidding. But I'm not.
Disavow, Brandon. Disavow.
No, please don't.
This case has similarities with the Morphew case. It kind of does. There's a lot of things going on and not a lot of things being proven.
Remember that the tower is going to have that cone shape. But when we're doing analysis of these records, we're looking more so at the arc from that tower, not necessarily the tower being used.
Okay, we can push.
And by the way, thank you so much for the corner. You don't have to corner kiss me too. Just DM me on either TwitTwat or Discord, or I sent you an email address that you can reach out and let me see if I can help you a little bit with the documents. I have some very wonderful mods who can help out with the documents, so I can take all the praise for it. And then they'll yell at me. But thank you so much.
Play, please.
See, Jamie? See?
What?
It's the blinking again.
Oh my God. I hate this map.
Brandon's next threat will be, I will get another beetle.
Okay, Detective, and based on your review of these records, you believe both devices have traveled together to the area of Freighter Hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next slide, please. Why was this significant on September 1st?
These are pictures captured on September 1st by Matthew Pahl's device. Up top, that's some data regarding application usage logs, which shows that the camera applications being brought into focus on his device between approximately 8:11 a.m. and 8:12 a.m. There's two pictures captured on Matthew Pahl's device. These two pictures are both from a building at Freighter Hospital.
Why did you find these to be significant in your analysis of the records themselves? Let me ask you a different question.
Please
Do
tell
these
us.
pictures help you corroborate the records and the analysis that you've made of the records?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about that.
I guess it's two-part. First off, these records, we're tracking a device. So I'm not tracking necessarily a specific person, but rather I'm talking about generalized locations for a device. So it's important that we're able to determine who's using that device. Further, these records do have some variance to accuracy. In my experience, they are very accurate, but it's still important that we corroborate our findings with other known facts, such as pictures being taken at a specific location.
Okay, and so this corroborated that Mr. Pahl's device was certainly at Freighter Hospital based on these photographs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next slide, please. What else happens on September 1st?
There's conversation between Matthew Pahl and Desierto on Skype, including the following message. At approximately 8:11 p.m., Matthew Pahl says, "Other one is called vacay.com or vacay.com. Either one, I'm looking for a one-way ticket from Chicago O'Hare to the Philippines, most likely Manila. Then 2 days before I leave, I will buy a throwaway ticket to go to Thailand or Vietnam. You have to do this if you plan on staying longer than 30 days, but I think you know this.
And important in this message, Mr. Pahl indicates that he's buying only a one-way ticket rather than a round-trip ticket.
It appears that way, yes.
Next slide, please.
Because he didn't know when he was going to come
What else
back.
did you see on the devices on September 1st?
On September 1st, between approximately 8:52 p.m. and 8:53 p.m., I observed more messages being sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Matthew Pahl's device. So the top section is for Matthew Pahl's device. It shows that there's incoming messages, 2 of them. They each have one attachment, and then the attachment is listed on the far right. The first one is named 1154.heic. The second one is named 1138.heic. And I marked that they're empty because that attachment wasn't necessarily recovered. However, at the not the exact same time, but within seconds of those messages being sent, his phone created thumbnails of images. And in the thumbnail file name, I see the matching. So the first one is THMB, which is typically short for thumbnail, _1154, which matches the file name attachment. And then the second one is THMB _1138, which matches the second attachment. The bottom section on this page, there's some really long file names, but specifically the second line down here where it says images, and then there's a description of a really long file name. That image, it's an image, it's cached by Ms. Pavlon's messaging application. That image matches the thumbnail attachment on Mr. Pahl's device. And then later on, second from the bottom, there's another image with a very long file name. That matches the second thumbnail created by Mr. Pahl's device. In the bottom section, around what we're seeing there is application usage on Ms. Pavlon's phone that shows that the messaging application and the gallery application are being used. I noted that information because the messages on Ms. Pavlon's phone were deleted. So I'm using this evidence to corroborate that that application was in use, and it's likely that a message was sent.
Okay, so you don't actually find the messages sent from Ms. Pavlon's to Mr. Pahl in Ms. Pavlon's phone.
That's correct.
Okay, so you need all of this kind of complicated information to confirm to you that those messages actually were sent?
I guess I don't need them because I see on Matthew Pahl's device that there are incoming messages, but the bottom portion I use to show that they were sent from Ms. Pavlon's device.
You're muted.
So him coming back to me indicates that he wasn't that afraid that something was going to happen. And Brandon, stay off the meth. I know you're not allowed to drink, but don't just don't.
You know what would be more damning is if he was pretending to use her phone and his phone to contact each other and pretend like she's still alive.
Yeah, if he was doing Henderson, that guy.
Yeah, which we see a lot with, or
Yeah.
we actually see that quite often with people. Oh, hey, yeah.
Danny, because we are finishing this no matter what.
Well, I just found that dumb because they're just like, they got all these stuff with her phone, but it's like, show me something where he's actually like pretending like she's still alive or trying to cover it up and text himself. And
I didn't like that the phone traveled together, but again, it's one of those, yeah, but is it enough kind of things.
Yeah, and it's like we don't know the situation. Like, did he just, because he was using it, he seemed to be using it throughout their period together. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they were deleted.
Okay. And the next slide, please. This pertains to some of the information you've already testified to, right?
Yes, these are
Thank you so much, Anime. I will be listening, but I've got a bunch of work to catch up, so I won't be able to chat much. Here's something for the grift. Thank you so much, Anime, and hope you're feeling better. I know you've been a little under. I still have MG's Forever phone. Do I love it or list it? Get it out there. Start spreading some DMs.
the two images that I just talked about. And each image appears twice. The reason being is the very first image, so starting far left, is that very long file name that I talked about that is being cached or modified by Ms. Pavlon's device. And about the same time, that thumbnail is created on Mr. Pahl's device. And even though they're slightly different based on computer technology, to your eye, they appear the same. And then the same thing for the third and fourth picture. The third one is the very long file name being cached or modified by Ms. Pavlon's device. And at about the same time, that thumbnail on the far right, or the fourth picture, is what is created on Matthew Pahl's device.
Okay, so we have still just two photos that are sent from Ms. Pavlon's to Mr. Pahl's device, and this tells you how you know it's these particular photos?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next slide, please. What else happens on September 1st?
There's additional conversation between Matthew Pahl and Desierto on Skype. Beginning at approximately 9:28 p.m., Desierto says, "What time do you prefer to travel and arrive, hun?" At approximately 9:36 p.m., Matthew Pahl says, "Time doesn't really matter, but I think I'm looking for a flight leaving possibly at the end of the month or beginning of next month." Approximately 2 minutes later, Matthew Pahl says, "Last time I checked, this month was September. End of this month to beginning of November is my target date to launch."
Detective, I failed to ask you this when we were talking about the last few messages that were sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl. You showed us a mapping earlier in the day of both devices traveling to Freighter. Did you also observe that these devices return back to the residence or are later at the 1001 Delafield location?
Yes, ma'am. There were records that showed Matthew Pahl's device traveling a similar route back to 1001 Delafield. There were no records on Ms. Pavlon's device necessarily to show it traveling back to 1001 Delafield, but it does eventually show back up at 1001 Delafield.
If a device was powered off, would that explain why there are no records for a particular device?
Yes, ma'am. For the timing advance records, I guess a couple situations where those records would not be generated would be if the device is off, if the device is not connected.
We know that he multiple times before told her to delete texts, probably because they're drug dealers.
To the network, or lack of record retention by the provider.
Okay. And in this case, you saw records for Mr. Pahl traveling back to the residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And they had the same provider?
They're on the same provider, yes.
So that would rule out that particular scenario for Ms. Pavlon's not having records?
Yes, most likely her device was either powered off or lost connection to the network.
Okay. And the images that were sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's device, those are being sent at or near 1001 Delafield Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move on to September 2nd. Next slide, please. What did you see on September 2nd?
This is, again, additional messages being sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Matthew Pahl's device. Same kind of theory here in terms of why there's so much information here. The top section is from Matthew Pahl's device, and we'll see that the first message at approximately 8:23 a.m. has that 382.jpg attachment. A couple of seconds later, there's a thumbnail with that 382 being modified on Matthew Pahl's device. At approximately 8:24 a.m., there's a message sent to his device with an attachment of 379.jpg. And a second later, you see the thumbnail, including 379.jpg, being modified on his device. At the bottom, same type of information. These messages were not recovered on Ms. Pavlon's device. So here I'm showing that between 8:23 a.m. and approximately 8:24 a.m. There's the usage for the messaging application, and while there's usage in the messaging application, there are two long file names, one at 8:23:44 a.m. and one at 8:23:58 a.m. Those two long file names being modified by Ms. Pavlon's messaging application match the thumbnail as being created on Mr. Pahl's device at this time.
Okay, next slide, please. Same thing here. We're looking at the actual images that were sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's device.
That's correct. So it's two images, each displayed twice, one being the modification on Ms. Pavlon's device, one being the thumbnail modification on Mr. Pahl's device, and that's the same for each image.
Okay, and in order for these images to be sent from Ms. Pavlon's device, someone would need to be actually manipulating the phone, going through the photos, and finding these to send through the messaging app.
Yes, ma'am.
Next slide, please. What else did you see on September 2nd?
At the very end of that exchange that I just talked about, there's a snapshot that's created. We saw this previously back on August 24th. We had the same snapshot displayed. This is very similar to a screenshot on your device, but this is the phone doing this automatically, typically when an application is closed. So we just saw two pictures that were sent. In this snapshot, you can see that the last text, or appears to be the last text message, is a message to Chewy, in which you, or Ms. Pavlon's device, sent a picture, and that very small thumbnail matches one of the pictures that was sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's device.
Okay, we also see in this snapshot a message on Wednesday, two messages on Tuesday, and a message on Monday. Were those messages located within Ms. Pavlon's device themselves?
I don't believe any of those were recovered from her physical device.
And so that would mean that they were deleted sometime after September 2nd when this snapshot was created?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and some of those messages are talking about appointments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, even those messages were deleted. Is that your memory?
Yeah, I believe that's right, yes.
Okay. Next slide, please. Continuing on September 2nd, what else happened?
At approximately 12:09 p.m., there's an incoming call on Ms. Pavlon's device from who I believe to be Delafield Dental. That call goes unanswered and is routed out to voicemail. So that's what you're seeing in those top two entries. These were recovered from Ms. Pavlon's call detail record, as these phone calls were deleted from her device. Actually, I don't believe that these ones were deleted.
Okay.
I'm not confident in that. Approximately 7 hours later, at 7:17 p.m., there's an outgoing call on Ms. Pavlon's phone checking voicemail.
Okay, if we can play that voicemail, please.
Hi, this message is for Stephanie. This is Katie calling from Delafield Dental. We had you scheduled today for your new patient appointment at 12 o'clock. The time is now 12:10. We were just calling to see if you were on your way or if we do need to go ahead and get that appointment rescheduled for you. We can see you up until 12:15, so if you are on your way, please go ahead and give us a call back here within the next 5 minutes. And if not, then just give the office a call to reschedule. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Now, Detective, whoever listened to that voicemail would know that Ms. Pavlon's missed an appointment on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are these calls occurring at or near 1000? Let me ask that again. Are these calls occurring while the device is at or near 1001 Delafield?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, September 2nd at 8:52 p.m. What was significant about this timing?
This is going to be another animation. This is the second occurrence that I noted where Ms. Pavlon's device clearly leaves the area of 1001 Delafield. It's going to get messy again with the number of records shown, but the devices appear to be traveling together. Mr. Pahl's will be the blue, Ms. Pavlon's will be the red. They go to the area, kind of the south side of Milwaukee, and then they both return to the area of 1001 Delafield.
Why were you asked to map each time both devices left the area together?
So the initial request to me was to identify any times where Ms. Pavlon's device appeared to leave 1001 Delafield. And if I were to identify any times where her device left, does it appear that Matthew Pahl's device is traveling with it? So this is the second of 3 occurrences where I could tell that Ms. Pavlon's device left the area of 1001 Delafield.
And during each of those 3 occurrences, did both Mr. Pahl's device and Ms. Pavlon's device leave?
Yes, and they appear to be traveling together.
No other times where Ms. Pavlon's device leaves on its own from the residence?
Not that I found, no.
Okay, thank you. If we can play this animation, please. So, Detective, that animation shows the devices both leaving the residence, going to an area of Greenfield and Layton Avenue, and then also returning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I see the time counter on the right-hand side. Is that approximately the times that we are seeing the devices leave and then return?
On the right-hand side of this map?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you said at approximately 8:52 p.m., both devices leave the area of 1001 Delafield. What time do both devices approximately return?
I don't recall specifically. If you played back the animation, I could give you my best approximate based on the speed of this animation.
Right. This is a pretty quick animation.
Yes, ma'am. It's moving very fast.
Okay. We'll start it again.
Based on the speed of that, my best approximation is about 10:05 p.m.
Okay. And this time counter goes all the way to 10:14. So there's some overlap where both devices are back at the residence and remaining there.
At or very near. With this zoomed out, I can't say specifically that they're at 1001 Delafield.
Okay. Next slide, please. Then what happens on September 4th that was significant in your investigation?
On September 4th, these are UTC times, so between approximately 5:05 p.m. and 5:40 p.m., there's activity on what's labeled as Stephanie Hall's Facebook account, which was told to me that is Stephanie Pavlon's Facebook account. So there's a message from Ms. Pavlon's account to Sherilyn Valente on Facebook. And at 10:05 p.m., that message reads, "What's happened with you and Matt?" Following that, there's a number of messages incoming from Sherilyn Valente's Facebook account to Ms. Pavlon's account.
Okay. And can you tell us what Ms. Sherilyn says at 10:07?
At approximately 10:07 p.m., Sherilyn Valente types, "Hi, I don't know. I'm clueless. I really didn't know what's happening. Do you have any idea? Because I've been worrying so much."
What was significant in your review of the Skype messages between Sherilyn Valente and Mr. Pahl, and any contact you were aware they were having between August 23rd and September 4th?
In reference to Skype specifically, I don't believe there's any Skype contact between Sherilyn Valente and Matthew Pahl between August 23rd and this time. I do believe there was an email exchange between them, though.
Right. We saw an email between Sherilyn Valente and Mr. Matthew Pahl on August 26th.
That sounds right, yes.
Okay. And so it appears that Ms. Pavlon's account is the one that reaches out to Ms. Sherilyn Valente?
Based on this, yes.
Okay. What's the next message Ms. Valente sends?
At approximately 10:08 p.m., Ms. Valente writes, "Please help me."
And the next two messages?
The next one at 10:09, those squares are likely from some type of emoji or something that can't be encoded properly. And then at 10:11 p.m., there's a message from Sherilyn Valente reading, "I don't want to lose him, Steph."
And what are the next few messages that she sends on September 4th?
At 10:33 p.m., Sherilyn Valente writes, "He never gave me his real name." At 10:34 p.m., Sherilyn Valente writes, "But I respect him if he doesn't want to. That's okay with me." And at approximately 10:40 p.m., Sherilyn Valente writes, "Steph, I don't have trusted friends either, and I'm glad I met you. In fact, I'm really getting shy with you because I don't want you to think that I only talk to you when I need something. No, it's not that. One day, I'll make it up to you."
These messages occurred between 5:05 and 5:40. Where was Ms. Pavlon's device located at the approximate time of these messages?
I believe at or very near the area of 1001 Delafield.
Okay, next slide, please. The Facebook messages continue. Can you read these messages, please?
Yes, beginning at approximately 10:40 p.m. Ms. Valente.
What time in local time?
I'm sorry, 5:40 p.m. local time. Ms. Valente writes like asterisk. At 10:40 p.m. again, Ms. Valente writes, "What made him mad?" At approximately 5:41 p.m., Ms. Valente writes, "I don't want him get mad." At approximately 5:43 p.m., Ms. Valente writes, "I'm sorry, Steph. If it seemed I'm not interested, I don't mean that."
And what does Ms. Pavlon's, what does her account respond at 5:54 p.m.?
At approximately 5:54 p.m., Ms. Pavlon's account writes, "I have belly ache. I need to find medicine. If he says anything, I'll just tell him you care very much, and I just reached out to you. Sorry, I have to rest, but please take care of yourself. And so you know, he always cared very much for you very much."
How does Sherilyn Valente respond to those messages sent from Ms. Pavlon's account?
She first reacts with the heart emoji on that message, and then at approximately 5:58 p.m., Sherilyn Valente writes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You take med stuff and you take care of yourself. I just
does
feel
keep-
relieved talking to you.
does have that
I'm so
Canadian
worried
accent.
about him, and I care for him so much that hopefully we overcome this. And sorry too if I don't open my messenger much. I just opened this for work, but I'll surely can receive your messages. Take a rest, Steph. Thank you for reaching out. I really do appreciate it so much. Have a great day."
And that last message is
messages
sent at
are when she's alive.
5:58 local time?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, going to the next slide. Did you observe both devices leaving the residence at approximately 9:27 p.m.?
Yes, they do leave the residence. This is much closer proximity. It's not as obvious that they leave the residence, but they appear to travel south to southeast on Delafield Street to the area where the coop is labeled on this map.
That's pretty close to the apartment based on this map.
Relatively speaking, yes.
And based on your evaluation of these records compared to some of those records where we saw them travel great distances, did you believe that the devices were traveling by some way other than car?
Yes, most likely on foot or on a bicycle, definitely not in a vehicle.
Okay, we can play this animation, please. Okay, based on that animation and the arcs of those records, do you believe that the devices remained in close proximity to maybe like the downtown Waukesha area or just on the west side of the river?
Yeah, based on my analysis, they'd be in the area of the coop or about where Madison and East North intersect, and I can circle that if you'd like.
Sure, that would be great. And how did you make that determination? Just trying to understand how these records work and what exactly you're looking at.
Yeah, so when I analyze these, remember that the shaded area has nothing to do with the record. That shaded area is just for visual. So when the animation started, you saw the blue line or the blue arc slowly moving away from 1001 Delafield, moving south. Eventually, we began seeing records from Ms. Pavlon's device coming into the map, and those are also south of 1001 Delafield. So looking at just the records on our screen here at this time, both devices are in the general area of those arcs, Ms. Pavlon's being the red, Mr. Pahl's being the blue, and those are clearly away from 1001 Delafield at this time.
Okay. Next slide, please. I guess I should ask you before we move on. Detective, did you then observe both devices return to the residence?
They do eventually return. I don't have an exact time frame when they return back to the area of 1001 Delafield.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, if we could clear the screen.
Hey, Jackal.
So looking at September 5th, what do we see here on the screen to the right?
So I kind of just talked about this.
Yes, I am 1,000 billion% sure he can't claim incompetent counsel, because you would have to have a counsel that was sleeping in the court, who didn't raise any objections, who couldn't even formulate a question. There is such a high bar that it'll never, ever happen as long as the lawyer knows his own name.
Yeah.
But this is a list of Skype contacts between Matthew Pahl and Sherilyn Valente. So the top two messages here, one being August 21st, 2022, the next entry being a missed call, missed incoming call from Sherilyn to Matthew Pahl on 8/23/2022.
I think Have we ever had any cases that I don't think any law troopers or whatever it is has ever had a case where anything like that happened. The only thing we had was the case with Nick where it got thrown out because the case was just bullshit. And
What do you mean ineffective counsel?
yeah, I don't think we ever had that. And we have seen someone who slept in court.
We
Jody
watched
Arias.
that one, the corn rate guy. Remember, he was trying to go back for it, and that was, I don't think that ever won anything, but they
Oh,
were just trying to.
the
Remember, that
corn
was
rake.
ineffective. Yeah, the corn rate guy.
Yeah, but there was we've never ever heard a verdict in that one.
No, but I'm saying like we've never actually had one where like, yeah,
Yeah,
of course he was ineffective. Like just because the lawyer's not asking questions that we want him to ask doesn't mean
no.
he's
And
going to be
and I'm
legally
thinking
incompetent.
Jody Arias, her counsel, he was just disbarred because he was an idiot.
He was
That
doing
was
something shady on the back end, I
yeah,
thought.
and that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And then there's a gap from 8/23 to September 5th, 2022, where I did not observe any messages between Ms. Valente and Mr. Pahl on Skype. But again, there was that email exchange between them on August 26th.
Okay, and on September 5th at 6:42 a.m., what message does Mr. Paul send to Sherlyn Valente?
Yes, at approximately 6:42 a.m. on September 5th, 2022, Mr. Pahl sends Ms. Valente a message that reads, "What's the matter? You don't check your emails like your messenger?" And that's followed up with another message that reads, "If you want to know, good. If not, that's fine too."
Why was that message on September 5th about checking Messenger significant based on what we've seen on September 4th?
So, to my knowledge, Stephanie Pavlon's is messaging Ms. Valente. I should say Ms. Pavlon's account is messaging Ms. Valente's account through Facebook Messenger. And based on this, it appears Mr. Pahl may have been the one doing that, as he's now questioning Ms. Valente as to why she doesn't check her email.
Is that taser? Yeah, she had a really good, but in my opinion, she was toast because that was political. But she's out and staying quiet.
But she's checking Messenger, and I take Messenger here to be that of Facebook Messenger.
Okay, and the last message that Mr. Paul sends at 6:44 a.m.?
At approximately 6:44 a.m. on September 5th, 2022, Mr. Pahl writes, "No, I'm not trying to chat. Read your email."
Then what happens later that morning at 8:56 a.m.?
There's I don't remember if it's incoming or outgoing, but there is a call through Skype between Mr. Pahl and Ms. Valente that lasts approximately 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Okay, and that's the first time that there's any sort of voice call between the two parties dating back through Skype?
At least in the information I reviewed, yes.
Next slide.
Jimmy, I have to make.
On September 6th, did you become aware that Mr. Paul had a appointment at OAW at approximately 10:30 a.m. and based on these records, he checked in or arrived at about 10:34 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next slide, please. Did you become aware that there was dash camera video obtained from Mr. Marvin Pahl's apartment that depicted some of Mr. Pahl's activity on September 6th?
Yes, ma'am.
What does this depict?
This is a dash cam from Matthew Pahl's truck. Begins at approximately 12:08 p.m. on September 6th, 2022. And it's in the parking lot of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Okay, and again, the same dash camera has that timing difference that you have to account for?
Yes, ma'am. It's approximately 13 hours ahead of local time here.
Can we play this video, please?
It might have been Lori.
Okay,
feel
that
like-
ends at 12:09:23.
He did do that stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
It appears the vehicle's moving pretty slowly. Did you do anything to alter this video to slow it down, or is this at the normal speed of the video?
I did not alter this video at all.
Okay. We can go to the next slide, please. The next
Yeah.
video starts at 12:09:31.
Yes, local time here, 12:09:31
Okay.
on September 6th.
It appears there's a little bit of a gap between the last video that we watched and this video. Did you find any other videos from September 6th?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
But not in this time frame, I should clarify.
This is the video exactly as you found it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll start again, 12:09. Can you pause it, please? Oh. Detective, when we paused the video, could you see a white car coming out of a driveway?
Yes, I did see a white car, yes.
What is that driveway where the white car is coming from? We're just going to skip forward a little bit. There we go.
If you were to turn right where that white car is, I don't know how far, but that row would be where the first or the beginning of this dash cam started, so where the vehicle was parked.
Okay, so in the first dash cam, Mr. Pahl
Who cares?
backs out
Oh my God.
and heads to the right. If he would have backed out and turned to the left, that would have been the entrance or exit to OAW that he could have exited.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can push play again.
This is stupid as he should have went out that drive, guys. He
Detective,
didn't,
did you
so-
also learn that at about 3 p.m., Mr. Pahl took his car to a car wash at Arcadian Car Wash?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're not going to review that video, but you were aware that Mr. Pahl went to that location and was at that location for quite some time?
Yes, ma'am, and I believe we established that time frame by me using these records to determine what time about he was at the car wash.
Okay, and so when you obtained the car wash video, you were able to significantly shorten the time frame that you were looking for based on the records?
I believe that's the order that it happened in, yes.
Did that also corroborate, again, that these records were accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can go to the next slide, please. What happens that evening on September 6th?
There's incoming messages on Ms. Pavlon's Facebook account from Ms. Valente. The first one is on September 6th at approximately 8:41 p.m. local time. That message reads, "Hi Steph, how are you? Hope you're okay now and feel better. Matt and I are okay now. Thank you so much for your advice. Hopefully someday I can make it up to you. Thanks, thanks, thanks."
And the next message?
At approximately 10:23 p.m., there's another incoming message from Ms. Valente to Ms. Pavlon's Facebook account, and it reads, "Thanks for the advice, Steph. That's so sweet of you. I'll keep that on mind. Have a good night's sleep."
Did you locate any messages from Ms. Pavlon's Facebook account in between these two records?
Not to my knowledge.
This is exactly how Facebook provided those records to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Wasn't he telling this girl that he did something bad and he needs to talk to her
Next
about
slide,
it?
please.
So wouldn't she have known?
What happens on September 7th?
There's conversation between Matthew Pahl and Sherilyn Valente on Skype, including the following messages. At approximately 6:37 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, and this is in part, "You also had more than a year to be friends with Steph. Now, suddenly you want to act like friend. Then back in April, I tell you just leave her alone, but your excuse is she reached out to you. So what?"
I'm going to stop you there. Does this indicate to you that Mr. Pahl was aware of messages being
went
sent
to go
from
do
Sherlyn
something,
to
Amy. I don't know
Stephanie's
what he said.
Facebook account on September 6th?
It does appear so, yes.
Okay, next message.
At approximately 6:40 a.m., Ms. Valente says, "I'm sorry about Steph. I just realized that she's been so good to me, and all she needed was a friend, and I failed her." At approximately 6:43 a.m., Ms. Valente writes, "I just thanked her because despite of everything, she still managed to reach out to me. I felt like my conscience bothered me. I should have done better. You're right. It was too late. Sorry, hun." At approximately 7 a.m., Matthew Pahl says in part, "I told you she wasn't being a good friend either, and to just leave it alone. Chat later about that." And at 7:02 a.m., Ms. Valente says, "Okay, hun, sorry again. I just want to show her some respect for being kind to me as well."
Next slide. Then on September 8th, what conversations did you locate?
These are Skype conversations between Matthew Pahl and Desierto on Skype, beginning at approximately 3:36 a.m. Desierto says, "Are you stressed out with tickets?" At approximately 3:38 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, "No, hun, not tickets. You know what it is." At approximately 3:39 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, "Tickets I have somewhat control over, not others' bad decisions." At approximately 3:42 a.m., Desierto says, "Don't get so stressed about the thing you've been worried."
And then is there a call between Mr. Pahl and Desierto?
Yes, there's an incoming call from Desierto to Matthew Pahl at approximately 4:14 a.m. That Skype call lasted approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes.
So Mr. Pahl and Ms. Desierto are talking in the middle of the night, 3:36 to 4:14 a.m., 5:14 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am, in that general time frame.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. I can tell based on the images you have here on the slide that there's some more images that are sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What time is the first image sent?
So the first image per Matthew Pahl's device was an incoming message at approximately 10:45:35 a.m.
Okay. And this time there are a total of 4 messages sent from Ms. Pavlon's device to Mr. Pahl's device?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Again, did you recover those images on Ms. Pavlon's device?
So the images, yes, I recovered the cached version of that image on Ms. Pavlon's device. I did not recover the actual message on Ms. Pavlon's device.
So you recover the image, but not the message being sent from Ms. Pavlon's to Mr. Pahl?
I guess image is a broad term. I recovered a form of that image, not necessarily the exact image that was sent, but a cached version of that image.
Okay, so if we went on to Ms. Pavlon's device and we looked at messages from September 8th, we would not see messages sent from Ms. Pavlon's to Mr. Pahl in that chat.
That's correct.
Okay, trying to get it in the simple terms. We'll go to the next slide, please. All right, what are we looking at here in these 4 images? I can tell that these 4 images are different than the couple times we've seen something like this before.
Yes, so these are the 4 images, which had we done what I did previously, these images were similar on both devices between what was being cached by Ms. Pavlon's phone and what was being created in thumbnail version on Mr. Pahl's phone. There are 4 individual pictures here. The timestamps at the bottom are the timestamps for which these chats actually occurred. So the first screenshot on the far left, the chats that we're seeing there occurred July 30th, 2022 at approximately 11:45 a.m. The second picture, those chats occurred on August 4th, 2022 at approximately 12:17 p.m. The third occurred August 4th, 2022 at approximately 6:50 p.m. And the last or farthest to the right occurred August 4th, 2022 at approximately 7:55 p.m. It's important that going from left to right, if they're 1, 2, 3, 4, pictures 1, 2, and 4 were all screenshotted on Ms. Pavlon's device on September 8th. So these chats had to have existed on her device as of September 8th. However, I did not recover any of these messages on her device when I conducted my forensic extraction of her device.
And each of these screenshots are of messages sent between a contact listed as Chewy and Ms. Pavlon's?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your review, who is Chewy?
Chewy in Ms. Pavlon's contacts is Matthew Pahl's phone number.
Okay, so these are messages sent between Mr. Pahl and Ms. Pavlon's going back from July 30th and August 4th, right?
That's correct.
Those messages are not on Ms. Pavlon's device when you extracted and reviewed the device?
That's correct.
So they were deleted sometime after September 18th, before your department takes custody of the device on September 17th?
That's correct.
Okay. Next slide, please. What else do we see on September 8th?
There's an outgoing call on September 8th from Matthew Pahl to Marvin Pahl. It's at approximately 8:33 p.m. and that phone call lasts approximately 41 minutes.
Okay, we can go to the next slide, please. What was significant about September 9th, 2022 in your investigation?
September 9th, 2022 is when law enforcement received notification of a deceased subject in the woods near Orthopedic Associates, and ultimately my department, the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, responded out to begin that investigation.
Prior to September 9th, when your department responds to begin the investigation, has anyone in law enforcement been notified that Stephanie Pavlons is missing?
Not to my knowledge.
Has anyone in law enforcement been notified that Stephanie Pavlons is endangered or has not been seen?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so what are we looking at here on September 9th?
So this is going to be another animation.
Yay!
It generally shows there's not as many records in this one, but it's going to show Matthew Pahl's device, or the blue device,
I really want him to do a
moving from the
cartoon.
area of 1001 Delafield in the bottom right of the screen up towards Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, ultimately past Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, and then back to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
And on this day, Mr. Pahl's device travels alone to those locations?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, we can start the animation, please. So, Detective, I want to ask you about what we see on the very last screen here. The last record is at 1:10 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think this is a good example of what we're looking at and what's important. When I see the tower over by the Cherokee Woods subdivision, what's important about that particular record and where Mr. Pahl's device is located?
So when looking at only this one record right here, yes, the tower is significant because that's the tower and sector that was used. But in terms of finding the physical location of this device, it would again be somewhere along that large arc. I think it's obvious, but if you'd want me to draw a line on that arc, I could.
Nope, that's okay. I think with one particular record, that's helpful. Did you also recover dash camera video from Mr. Pahl's dash camera video that records Mr. Pahl's vehicle and route of travel that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if we can go to the next slide, please. Is that what we're looking at here?
This is the beginning of it, yes.
Okay, and what time does this dash camera video start?
This would be on local time, September 9th, 2022, at approximately 1:01 p.m.
Okay, and what are we going to see on this video?
Judge, I'm objecting to playing this video. The jury's already seen it. I think it's cumulative.
Judge, it's one video.
Hang on. Go ahead.
It's one video. It's very short, and I think it assists the jury in putting into context all of the events of this day.
This witness is testifying about a summary of information that was testified to about being gathered from other law enforcement officers, and I think his purpose is to relate it to other things that were happening. I'll allow it.
We can push play, please.
I was ordering a house showing on Saturday. That's why.
Oh.
Well, not the house I was looking at, but another one.
There you go.
We have seen this before as well. If anyone is wondering, all of this is just the same we had before.
Yeah. Boring.
Boring.
We need a little soundboard for that.
Well, let's see what it is. The roof doesn't look too good, so I have to see.
Detective, what did we see at the very end of that video?
So right before the video stops, it appears the vehicle was in the right lane of travel, and the vehicle moves back over to the left lane of travel.
What are all those vehicles there that we see in the driveway area of OAW?
The ones lined up along the entrance there, the majority, if not all, are law enforcement vehicles.
Okay, we can go to the next one, please. After Mr. Pahl passes Orthopedic Associates, is this a summary of his direction and location of travel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you review those dash camera videos to determine exactly his direction and route of travel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about that.
So where the dot is, right by Orthopedic Associates. That's essentially where the dash cam we just watched stops. If you continue watching the dash cam, he travels west on Gulf Road, southbound on Elmhurst, westbound into Creekside Court. There's a little U-turn in the court. He comes back out, proceeds northbound on Elmhurst, eastbound on Gulf, and then I believe the next slide is going to show you the dash cam of him pulling into Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Okay, so he drives away from OAW and is driving in the opposite direction of OAW for before returning, a total of about 7 minutes?
Approximately, yes.
Okay, next slide, please. And what do we see here? What time does this start?
This is on September 9th, 2022 at approximately 1:09 p.m. And you're seeing we're orientated kind of northeast here, but from eastbound Gulf Road, turning north into Orthopedic Associates driveway.
Okay, and play the video, please. Next slide. Once Mr. Pahl is in the parking lot, what does he do next?
About the same time, there's an outgoing call from Mr. Pahl's device to Marvin Pahl's device. That call begins at approximately 1:10 p.m. On that call lasts approximately 17 minutes.
Okay. Next slide. Now, did your department obtain video from Orthopedic Associates?
Some video, yes.
Okay. You were able to obtain video of September 9th of Mr. Pahl entering and exiting the doors at OAW.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you learn about this video that maybe other investigators were not aware of?
So coming in, he's on his cell phone, which corresponds with the call that we just talked about and the duration of that call. I think it's the next slide after this. We observe Mr. Pahl walking out, and there's audio on this camera. It appeared he was playing, or there was police chatter, I'll call it. Sounds like a police radio. So I went back into Mr. Pahl's device and located application usage logs that showed that he had the police scanner app open on his phone when he's exiting Orthopedic Associates on this day.
Okay, so we'll play this video first. This is at 1:22 p.m.
Correct.
And that video matches the phone records indicating that Mr. Matthew Pahl is making a phone call or is on the phone with Mr. Marvin Pahl, right?
Correct.
Okay, next slide, please. What are we seeing on this slide?
So this will be the big portion here is the video of Matthew Pahl exiting Orthopedic Associates. And then what I did is at the top of this video, so at 1:58 p.m. or approximately 1:58 p.m., you can see that the police scanner app is brought to focus on Mr. Pahl's phone. At 2 p.m. is when the video takes place. And at approximately 2:02 p.m., the police scanner app on Matthew Pahl's phone is closed.
Again, what types of things would be happening on a police scanner app or on a police scanner?
General communications, dispatches for calls for service. I'm not too familiar with police scanner apps, but my understanding is it's hard to pick which channel you want to listen to. But in general, police communications.
And you're familiar with police communications. You, as a detective and as a patrol deputy, would use the radio regularly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to play this video, please.
Again, he sees a ton of police officers on the other side, and then he opens the app to figure out what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of. I'd
Now,
be like,
detective, based on your
find out what's
familiarity
going
with
on.
police
You
radio,
would do the
dispatch, audio,
I would.
What did you hear in that video?
I have.
So I can't make out
Gizzy cop. That's the definition we're looking for.
Oh, okay.
what exactly is being said, but it does sound like police communications and a female dispatcher acknowledging that she copied whatever transmission was played.
Okay. Important to note, did that audio stop after Mr. Pahl was outside of the little vestibule area here?
It appeared to, yes.
Okay. And did not continue once that other gentleman walked in?
I didn't hear it, no.
Why is that significant?
So I tried to determine, when I initially watched the video, I tried to rule out that it's possibly not one of our officers standing underneath this camera with his radio playing. So I think it's significant that as Mr. Pahl exits, the audio stops, and at 2 p.m., our radios are pretty much nonstop. There's a lot of communication going on. And then the application usage logs shows that he did have the application open. So I'm just trying to rule out that it's not.
Did you mean Gypsy Cop? Because that's a cop who keeps floating around departments. I don't get a Gizzy Cop.
Police officer off camera here. Just you're hearing his radio playing.
Okay. And could someone use police scanner audio to try and determine what's going on outside OAW there at the crime scene?
I guess they could, yes.
So that occurs at 2 o'clock. Mr. Pahl exits OAW, and fair to say he exits to the and turns kind of towards the west.
Correct. To the right here would be to the west. Yes.
Next slide, please. Then based on his dash camera, we know that he's manipulating his dash camera inside his car at about 2:09 p.m.
Judge, I'm object to the point of what he doesn't know what the supposed is doing here with the dash cam.
Well, then we can play it.
All right, hang on a second. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay, if we could play this slide, please. Detective, did you see anyone else in the vehicle with Mr. Pahl there?
I saw a hand picking up the dash cam and appears to be sticking it back to the windshield.
Okay, and that's at 2:09 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Next slide, please. This slide, this video starts at 2:14 p.m. There's no video between 2:09 and 2:14, is that correct?
In the PowerPoint, that is correct. I'm not sure 100% if there's any dash cams that we didn't include here.
Okay, and this video is about 1 minute long?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can play this here. Detective, I want to direct your attention back to slide 93, please. Okay. It looks like there's a second outgoing call on 9/9 at 2:06 p.m. Who's making that call?
Yes, ma'am. This is another outgoing call from Matthew Pahl's device to Marvin Pahl's phone number. It occurs at approximately 2:06 p.m., and that call lasts approximately 17 minutes.
Okay. So Mr. Pahl exits OAW at about 2 o'clock p.m. He calls Mr. Marvin Pahl at 2:06 p.m., and then that's where the dash camera video picks up at 2:09 p.m.
Approximately, yes.
Okay, we can go forward to slide 98 now. Thank you. What are we looking at here, Detective?
So this is going to be another animation. It's going to play rather quickly, but we have OAW, or Orthopedic Associates, down towards the bottom left of your screen. This is between approximately 2:15 p.m. and 3 p.m. And it's going to show Mr. Pahl's device take a general route of eastbound I-94 to northbound I-41 to northbound 45 into the area of Jackson. At the top of your map, there's another address. That address was provided to me as Marvin Pahl's address.
Okay, so we're going to see Mr. Matthew Pahl leave OAW and drive up to his father's residence in Jackson, Marvin Pahl's residence. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This happens very fast. This is really just to corroborate that that's where Mr. Matthew Pahl, the direction he travels?
Correct.
Okay, if we can push play, please. So Mr. Matthew Pahl is in the area of Mr. Marvin Pahl's residence around 3 p.m.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I cut this animation off a little early, but it goes until 2:54 p.m. And based on this, I would say he's in the Jackson area by 2:54 p.m. I don't know exactly when he gets to Marvin Pahl's residence.
Okay. Fair to say, though, that he's there sometime after 3 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next slide, please. Once Matthew Pahl is at Mr. Marvin Pahl's residence, what did you observe in Mr. Marvin Pahl's computer and his web search history?
Yes, so these are web searches recovered from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. They occur generally between approximately 3:38 p.m. and 5:56 p.m. They're conducted through the Yahoo search engine. First one, Stephanie Pavilions, missing woman found dead. Waukesha, Wisconsin, police reports. Waukesha, Wisconsin, police reports death. Waukesha, Wisconsin, police today's news, September 9th, 2022, video clips. Today's news, Highway 164 in Waukesha. Waukesha police scanner. Waukesha police scanner patch. News happening today in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Waukesha, Wisconsin, police today's news. Body found in Waukesha field. Stephanie Pavlons. Stephanie Pavilions, missing woman found dead. Stephanie Pavilions, missing woman found dead in apartment. Channel 6 News, live, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Body found by construction worker, dead. And how to take a screenshot on MacBook Pro.
Detective, by 5:56,
This is
September 9th,
so.
did
This is
anyone in law
like me.
enforcement know
I'm
who it was?
I feel like they're reading my search history for things.
Yeah, if anyone saw anything like that, that would be, well, again, he hadn't seen his girlfriend for 17 days. Maybe that's why he's doing it.
Yeah, maybe he's like just curious because he's like, man, she's really not reached out to me. I haven't heard a word from her. And there's cops and what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
you might start wondering.
That was found in the woods near OAW.
Not to my knowledge.
Did anyone know in law enforcement that Miss Stephanie Pavlons had been missing since August 23rd?
At this point, no.
Did these web history searches on Mr. Marvin Pahl's computer appear to be relevant to your investigation?
I would say so, yes.
Why?
Why?
Because at this point, we didn't release any information about who was found, simply because we didn't know. Based on these searches, maybe this person knows.
Okay. Next slide.
I tell you what, it's 9:56. Let's take a break till about.
Let's take a break. Let's get on with it. Let's just, we've heard all of this 20 times before.
I know.
All right, have a seat, everybody. Anything from the state before we take a break?
No, Judge.
Anything, Mr. Eloise?
Oh, sir, thank you.
All right, take a break. Be back at 10 after, ready to go. Okay, you can step down.
Yeah, all of this is, it's just rank speculation.
Well, and like, what? Okay, I see. I should have wrote this stuff down. And what day was it that the people found her body? Actually, what day was that exactly? Was it the
That was the
7th?
9th. The 9th, I believe it was the 9th. She disappears on the 26th, and the other one is the 9th or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know if the 9th was when they actually identified her.
See, Jamie, this is what I'm going to look at on Saturday.
Oh, look how cute that is.
Well, the roof isn't. Look at this bathroom.
Where?
On the screen, Jamie.
Sorry, I'm looking at YouTube. It takes a minute. Oh boy, that's a lot of pink tile.
Yeah. This is I'm not sure that probably needs to change because I don't think I'm man enough to live in a house with that pink of a bathroom.
And then the top flowers. Oh, yeah, you have to change that.
Yeah. That's probably a little
I like
too
the
much.
black though. But you can't just have like black, a few black things. Like you're gonna do all black because like a black sink would be so cute. Oh, I've always loved that black bathtub and black sink. Yeah, and a black toilet. Oh. Mine's boring. I tried to spice it up with like a mermaid teal color on an accent wall. It's all boring.
It has a bar.
Look at that.
It's branded approved. It needs some.
That is, I love that room. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I
Well,
love
it's.
the wood.
Yeah, I heard you like wood.
I have a wood accent wall in here and in the living room, and I just like the way it looks.
But no, it needs. There's not enough bedrooms because the only bedroom really is that little weird one you can see down here in the back, where they put up a wall that they didn't finish. So that's this little shitty room. So it's not perfect, but the price is low, and that's why. And then it's an old shoe store, so it has like these massive windows and stuff like that. So I have to fix that.
I saw that in the front when you sure showed it. It looked like it kind of looked like a store at first.
It is a store, but we'll have to figure out. It's an option. I have to try and figure out what's available and what I can get close to price-wise. You can paint bathroom tiles. I did it before the renovation. Our bathroom works great and saves a ton of money. Yeah. That upper floor looks nice. Yeah, I would probably move that wall further out if it's possible, so you get more room in the bedroom. Yeah. Yeah, if it's cheap and yeah, then you can move. There's some problems with the roof and stuff like that, but is that a $50,000 problem, a 50,000 Danish problem, or a 200,000 Danish problem? That's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Apparently, he had a showing today to someone else, so it's probably going to be off the market before I get there. But
maybe not.
Maybe not. The other one we were looking at, that has disappeared off the market. So no way that is going through. Jamie is peeing on my parade, Jamie. Jamie. Brandon is. Brandon is.
Brandon, quit peeing on parades.
I am the worst. I can use my hands for baking. I can't use it for anything else.
You're not handy.
No, I'm absolutely horrible. I can paint and stuff like that, but I will hit all the wrong places and get paint all over myself and stuff like that. But the idiot has a lot of friends who are builders and stuff like that, so that's the thing.
I have to YouTube everything, but
yeah,
most of the time I call my dad.
No, I don't make that much YouTube money that I can buy a house like that. But the price of the house is less than the one I live in now, so I can, but I have to sell this and then buy the other. So it's a little bit of a, there's going to be some things we have to figure out. Parades are only interesting when a balloon or two becomes unmoored. Yeah, I could see that was fun. It's a good time to learn how to be handy. If not now, when? Well, again, as much as you can fix yourself, of course, you'll try and figure it out. But no, the idiot is pretty handy. They just put floor heating. What do you call it? Underfloor heating. You know, where you run the heat pipes through the floor, so you get. No, you probably don't do that in America.
No, well, I don't. I've done it here. That sounds amazing, though.
Yeah, it's just so you don't have the radiators. You'll just have you'll run water pipes through the entire floor, and then you'll put the concrete back on top of it. So you have your heat coming from the entire floor. So when you walk on the floors, they're heated. With this house, I would be probably five minutes in car away from it. Well, they don't have that much room. They bought a house to the situation they were in, not to the situation they were gonna be in, like so much. Yeah, in-floor heating.
I mean, is that what we have? Because like it doesn't heat my floors up. What's going on in here? But whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, normally you'll have it in your bathroom. That's how you did it, but it's become more and more common in Denmark because we have these radiators that you would normally have under the windows and stuff like that, where you just. But it's inefficient, and instead, if you run it through the floors, you'll have equal heat all over, so the heating will be less. Especially with we have this central heating where that house I'm looking at now, it run off a heating central in the city that'll just pump hot water into your house, and then you'll use it for heat, and then it'll run back and get reheated. Kind of like you did with your furnace in your house back in the day, but now it's just central heating for the entire city. And with that water, it's way easier to just put it into that system when you're fixing it anyway. So, yeah. Hey, Zachary.
Hey, Zach.
Radiant floor heating is common in the US. Jamie, you don't know anything.
No, I guess I don't. I don't know. I don't think that's what I have here. I just have a normal furnace with the ducts in the basement, and it doesn't heat my floors at all. Still cold AF.
They do it in new houses. It's expensive to put in, but already yeah, and they do it themselves, and it's just to run water pipes or water, yeah, like a water. It's a plastic tube that you just run in a snake pattern through the floor, and then you pour concrete. Of course, you have to isolate it so it doesn't just dissipate down into the ground. But that's the thing. You're a licensed plumber. Oh, interesting. We have hot water heating, but don't use it much since we got our heat pumps. No, but in Denmark, you have the option. You can have the old oil furnaces. They have to be dismantled by 2030, I believe the law is. Then you have wood pellet stoves, where you have those big ones that you'll run your central heating off. They're pretty cheap. Then you have natural gas, like I have. That's insanely expensive. And then you have this central heating thing for the cities. And apparently the heat in this city is the lowest you can get that type in the entirety of Denmark, because apparently people don't want it in other cities. They don't want it. My daughter has it, and she says it's amazing. My older brother had it, and he said it's just perfect because you don't have to worry about it. It comes from a central hub, and it's cheaper than you having a boiler at your house. Yeah, but that you don't need that now when you have that. It'll just run to your house, and it'll be hot as hell, and then it'll cool down. Interesting. We still have radiators in my house. It's 90 years old. Most houses in Denmark will have radiators. Radiators is the norm. But again, if you can make it yourself and you can keep the cost low, it's a wonderful thing when you wake up in the morning and just walks out to a heated floor. That's the best part of going to the toilet in the night. You're sitting there and your feet are warm.
Yes. Nothing like
Our
a
furnace runs on furnace oil, but only put $80 in it 3 years, and that's just to heat our hot water. The heat pumps have saved us $220 a month in heating. Yeah. The reason why I had to call I had to talk to the realtor. They had in Denmark, you'll have like an energy report. This is how much it costs to heat the house. They'll use this amount on this and this and this, and these are the improvements you can make. And then you'll have if you make this amount of renovation, you'll put more insulation in, you'll insulate your pipes and stuff like that, you can save this amount of money a year. So you can say, okay, if I do this, I can save such and such. If I put up solar cells, how much can I save in?
Bring the jurors back from the state.
So but it said that they use 67,000 Danish, that's like $10,000 in heat last year. And I called him and said, this can't be right. And he said, no, they use 12. It's just because there's some way that they must legally write that report, and it's based on an average of something. So he said, no, they use 12,000 Danish, which would be 2,000 instead of 10,000. That's quite some difference.
Mm-hmm. Not from the state judge. I know defense has their witnesses here. I don't know if there's anything the defense wishes to address with the court.
Yeah,
they'll construction worker. And I told him to be here, but I can't, so I tried to be on right then. I was hoping to call him out of order to get him back to this construction work. I'm not sure who else the state objects to calling him out of order. But he uses the one that, what's worse, he told the deputy that he thought it was a woman in the woods.
What?
Ms. Gordon?
I did have a chance to speak with him. He said that he would just need 20 or 30 minutes notice to be here. I don't know if it's going to be a while before Detective Schrader is done. I don't know if the court would want to take him out of order in the middle of another witness's testimony.
Why the hell? You said that you were halfway done and you have spent an hour and almost 2 hours talking about things everyone else has talked about. Why the hell is he not done yet? I hate this state team.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting the part of my vows that request being yelled at on a daily basis. Maybe I could borrow one of those heated pipes for compliance purposes. Brendan, you can run this channel and then you can have all the mods yell at you all the time. It's the same.
How much longer do we have the detective?
Yeah. How much longer?
I'm on slide 100 of 124, and then there's some a few other things we need to clean up after that. Maybe another hour on direct.
Holy hell.
Okay.
Why? Why?
Yeah, go tell them to wait. Yes, sir. It'll take a minute or two for the jurors to come back, okay? We can bring the jurors back then.
What are you going to talk to him about an hour? An hour?
24 more slides to go through.
24 more slides we have seen.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
All right, all 14 jurors have returned. Have a seat, everybody else. Thank you very much. Go ahead, continue.
Thank you. If we can put Exhibit 202 back on the screen, please.
Sit down, sir. Did you see
Detective,
him?
um,
Second a transfer.
the last slide showed Mr. Matthew Pahl driving up to the area of Jackson, Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are we looking at on this slide?
This is going to be another animation
No, Danny, stay here.
between approximately 7:15 p.m. and 8:15 p.m. And it's going to show Mr. Paul's device returning to the area of 1001 Delafield. Little different route, but generally speaking, it'll go west on 60 to State Highway 164, then travel southbound on 164 into the city of Waukesha.
Okay, we can play this animation, please. Okay, so again, those records show Mr. Pahl returning to the area of 1001 Delafield.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, based on other investigation, including other detectives' review of surveillance video from the Willow Park apartments, did Mr. Pahl, Mr. Matthew Pahl, travel back and return to the apartment with anyone else?
On this occasion,
Yes.
I believe his father might be with them, but I don't recall specifically.
Okay. Did you also then, we didn't map it for the jury, but did you also then review records from Mr. Pahl on September 10th, returning to the Jackson area and then coming back to the 1001 Delafield area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Indicating that Mr. Marvin Pahl came and spent the night with Mr. Matthew Pahl?
Judge, I'm going to object. It's speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. He said he didn't see or know about Mr. Marvin Pahl coming back.
Okay, next slide, please. What happens on September 10th?
On September 10th at approximately 9:43 a.m., there's web history from Matthew Pahl's cell phone. Visits a GM Today article. The title of that webpage is Dead Body Found by Construction Crew in Delafield, Waukesha County News. There's a snippet here of what that webpage looks like. That is our press release from the Sheriff's Office, summarized by this news outlet. And then at approximately 8:26 p.m., there's a web search from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer through the Yahoo search engine for Stephanie Pavlons.
Important to note that in that news article that's posted and that is reviewed by Mr. Matthew Pahl from his phone, that the body is not identified by a name?
Correct.
It's not identified by a gender?
Correct.
And it doesn't even say where at that address a body was located. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That address that is given, is that the address to OAW, if you know, or is that the general area?
I don't recall specifically if that's the OAW
Well,
address.
you might put two and two together.
Next slide, please.
Dummy.
What happens on September 11th?
Speculation, Jamie.
So the first message that we see here is actually on September 10th. So there's a Facebook message from Ms. Pavlon's account to Sherilyn Valente on September 10th at approximately 3:36 p.m. That message from Ms. Pavlon's account reads, "Keep in mind, baby, or good spanking, haha." Moving on to September 11th at approximately midnight
does this have to do with
04,
anything?
Sherilyn Valente reacts to that message, and then 2 minutes later at approximately midnight 06, Ms. Valente writes, "You are silly. I just opened Messenger in case you wonder, because I'll do my lesson for next week, okay? Morrissey will accompany me in the grocery store at 3 p.m. He's working with his painting, so I'll do my stuff first." It should be noted there's a number of typos in that message.
Okay, and so on September 10th in the afternoon, someone is accessing Stephanie Pavlon's Facebook account.
Yes, ma'am.
Was there anything significant about the message that was sent from Stephanie's Facebook account?
I guess me personally, I don't understand the context of this message. It doesn't seem to make sense to me in terms of why that message was sent from Ms. Pavlon's account.
Okay, next slide, please. What else happens on September 11th?
On September 11th, there's Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Ms. Valente. Approximately 7:34 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, "No, just feel sad, hun, and wondering why all this bad shit." At 7:37 a.m., Ms. Valente writes, "Shh, focus. I know how you feel, but you have a life, hun. Fight this negativity and sadness, sweetheart. Remember, you did everything. You cared. You shouldn't be the one feeling like that when you did everything way back, every single time." At approximately 7:40 a.m., Ms. Valente writes, "I know it's sad, but life goes on, and on, and on. Be strong, baby. You can't hold on to this forever. Yeah, I know, it takes time. It's not easy, but time heals too. Be strong, hun." At approximately 7:44 a.m., Matthew Pahl writes, "Yes, thanks, hun. In life, there is a time for many things. Now is grieving time."
Detective, on September 11th, did anyone in law enforcement know that Stephanie Pavlon's was the body found in the wooded area?
I don't believe that we knew at this time, and if we did, I know for sure that we would not have released any type of press release with that name at this time.
Okay, next slide, please. What else happens that morning?
Continuing on in the Skype conversation, at approximately 7:48 a.m., Ms. Valente says in part, "Grieve, baby, it is okay, but after that, remember you have a life of your own." At approximately 7:56 a.m., Matthew Pahl says in part, "Yes, hun, it's just sad all these people and so-called professional couldn't/can't do anything." At approximately 9:02 a.m., Matthew Pahl writes, "Yes, I got feeling I'm going to need help and support this week."
Okay, next slide, please. What happens that afternoon?
At approximately 2:34 p.m., there's an incoming call on Ms. Pavlon's phone. This call is routed, it's unanswered and routed to voicemail. So those are the two entries you're seeing on top. This call is from a contact in her phone labeled as Mama Mia. I did check that phone number in our information, and that phone number belongs to Georgianne Pavlon's. Approximately 20 minutes later, there's an outgoing call on Ms. Pavlon's phone, checking the voicemail, and the outgoing call to check voicemail was deleted from Ms. Pavlon's phone.
So at 2:34, Stephanie's mother attempts to make contact with her device.
It appears so, yes.
And was there then an outgoing call from either Mr. Pahl's device or Ms. Pavlon's device returning that phone call to Georgianne Pavlon's?
Not that I observed, no.
And you said the call to voicemail was deleted?
The call to check voicemail was deleted, yes.
What about the call that was made from Georgianne?
The incoming call?
Yes.
That was still on the device.
Okay. Next slide, please. At 3:12 p.m., what happens about 20 minutes after that voicemail is checked?
At approximately 3:12 p.m., there's an outgoing call from Matthew Pahl's device to Marvin Pahl. That phone call lasts approximately 14 minutes.
Okay. What happens next?
At approximately 3:49 p.m., there's Skype conversation from Matthew Pahl to Ms. Valente. It reads, "I'm going to delete this text after I tell you something, but I really shouldn't text it." At approximately 3:50 p.m., so 1 minute later, Matthew Pahl says, can you call me for just 2 minutes, and then I'll let you go after I spank your butt." At approximately 3:53 p.m., So 3 minutes later,
Why is this
there's an
relevant?
incoming call, Skype call, from Sherilyn Valente to Matthew Pahl. That call lasts approximately 14 minutes. The above message that says, "I'm going to delete this text," was in fact deleted from the device.
Okay. Next slide, please. Then at 6:36 p.m., what happens?
At approximately 6:36 p.m., there's an incoming call on Matthew Pahl's device from Marvin Pahl. That call lasts approximately 49 minutes. At approximately 9:02 p.m., there's a Skype conversation between Ms. Valente and Matthew Pahl. In that conversation, Matthew Pahl says, "I had a long talk. Dad, we will be ready." At 9:03 p.m., Ms. Valente responds, "That's great. Remember, if you'll be invited for interrogation or anything, remain calm because you can think better when you're calm." At approximately 9:08 and 9:09 p.m., Matthew Pahl says, "The family called someone and said nobody has seen her or heard. I'm not really worried." In approximately 9:09 p.m., Ms. Valente responds, "Oh God, where she could possibly be."
Detective, based on your understanding of this investigation, had Detective Plennis or Detective Fredericks or any other member of the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department had contact with the Pavlons family on September 11th?
Not to my knowledge.
I think our thoughts are that there's a lot of potential circumstantial, but no hard evidence. And most of it is, I assume and I think and I could believe.
And look at all these messages and these things he did that accumulate to, I mean, come on. I mean, that's really all it feels like to me is like, see all this?
Yeah.
I mean,
It could
he looks
indicate.
suspicious. He looks sneaky, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, next slide, please. Now on to September 12th. What happens that day?
In the early morning hours, approximately 8:37 a.m. to 8:38 a.m., there's web history on Matthew Pahl's cell phone. Appears to be visiting Thielen Funeral Services, Waukesha Obituaries, obituary search. At approximately 12:55 p.m., there's a incoming call on Miss Pavlon's phone from that Mamma Mia contact, which is Georgianne Pavlon's cell phone number. That call is unanswered and routed to voicemail. Approximately 4 minutes later, there's an outgoing call from Pavlon's device checking the voicemail. The outgoing call to check voicemail was deleted from Ms. Pavlon's device.
And again, after Mrs. Georgianne Pavlons attempts to contact her daughter, Stephanie Pavlons, does Mr. Pahl make a call to Georgianne from his cell phone?
Georgianne.
Not that I'm aware of.
Does he return that call from Ms. Pavlon's cell phone?
Not that I'm aware of.
And there's no calls to law enforcement at that time?
Why would he?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Next slide, please.
This is later in the afternoon on September 12th, 2022. These are web searches from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. Between approximately 3:12 p.m. and 4:41 p.m., the searches are made through the Yahoo search engine, and some of the searches include Stephanie Pavlons, CCAP, Wisconsin court records, the Freeman newspaper, Waukesha, Wisconsin, September 11th, 2022, dead body found by construction worker, dead body found by construction worker video, and dead body found in Delafield, Wisconsin.
At this point in the investigation, in the afternoon of September 12th, had the Sheriff's Department made it public in any way that they knew who the body was that was located in the woods?
I don't recall specifically.
Okay. Next slide, please. What did we see here?
Well, obviously, if they have articles
On September
about
12th,
it,
at approximately 3:42
Not bench
p.m.
her
There's an
specifically, but
incoming call on Matthew Pahl's device from Marvin Pahl. That call lasts approximately 12 minutes. At approximately 4:13 p.m., Matthew Pahl sends a Skype message to Ms. Valente that reads in part, "No news here yet. I just got off the
They did find her phone at his address, but all of this is cell extractions.
phone with my dad, and I'm going to go for a bike ride to relieve stress."
Okay, so tell me again, what time does that incoming call from Marvin Pahl happen?
It's at approximately 3:42 p.m.
And if we can go to the previous slide, please. Some of those web search histories occur immediately after that phone conversation between Matthew Pahl and Marvin Pahl.
Yes, the phone call that we just talked about would be between the first and second search there.
Okay. Then if we can go to slide 111, please. Again, on September 12th, what do we have here?
More Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Ms. Valente, specifically at approximately 8:07 a.m. Matthew Pahl says, "Otherwise, night. Just wanted to make sure I saw you in case something bad happens." Again at 8:07 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, "Just remember, if I delete you, I'll be back as soon as the drama is over." At approximately 8:08 a.m., Ms. Valente writes, "Shh, nothing will happen to you. Stop thinking that way, but always be prepared. Be calm. I will, baby."
Next slide takes us to September 13th. What happens on that date?
More Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Ms. Valente, including at 7:44 a.m. Matthew Pahl says, "Have to shower, just not feeling the best, was thinking again. If I could have just did something different to help if things turn out bad." At approximately 7:46 a.m., Ms. Valente writes in part, "You did your part, please stop blaming yourself." About an hour or so after that, there's additional web searches on Matthew Pahl's phone, in summary regarding obituaries and memorials and obituaries.
Okay. Next slide. September 14th. What are we looking at here?
An incoming message on Miss Pavlon's device. The message is from a contact named Sam, phone number 262-757-8558. That message reads, "You still got that pressure washer for sale? Question mark, question mark,
you just
question mark."
blasted his phone number.
At approximately 7:34 a.m., Matthew Pahl sends a message to Majin Desierto, which reads, "If you don't hear from me because something happens, I'll get with you ASAP."
Okay, next slide. Later on September 14th.
More Skype conversation between Matthew Pahl and Ms. Valente, specifically at 8:38 a.m. Matthew Pahl says, "I just wanted to say night in case something bad happens today." Ms. Valente responds,
Talking about bad things
"Hey,
happening.
stop thinking that. Any news? Question mark." Approximately 8:39 a.m., Matthew Pahl says, "A lot of chatter about this and that, but nothing concrete." And at 8:42 a.m., Matthew Pahl writes, not texting anymore about this and that, hun."
Okay, and then that next message is actually something we've already seen on the previous slide, right?
That's correct.
Go to the next slide. What else happens on September 14th?
At approximately 4:23 to 4:54 p.m., there's web searches recovered from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. Those are all made through the Yahoo search engine. And in summary, they're about the Waukesha Coroner's Office and Waukesha death notices.
Again, by September 14th, are you aware of any press release or information that had been released to the public indicating we knew the identity of the person found in that wooded area?
I don't recall.
Okay. September 15th on the next slide, please.
First one is Skype conversation from Matthew Pahl to Desierto. It's at 2:50 p.m. and Matthew Pahl says, driving back from Dad's, got my banking business done for overseas traveling, have one more meeting to finish next week. At approximately 3:01 p.m., or about 10 minutes later, Matthew Pahl sends a message to Ms. Valente through Skype, which reads, did banking business for overseas traveling.
What happens next?
At approximately 10:02 p.m., there's an incoming message on Matthew Pahl's device. It's an incoming message from Ms. Pavlon's device, and it's a news article regarding the ATF and Milwaukee criminals.
Was Ms. Pavlon's device located at or near the 1001 Delafield Street apartment when this message was sent?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. All right. The next slide, please. This looks pretty complicated. What are we looking at here?
So we'll start with the table graphic. That's a portion of what's called the SQLite database. Your phone or cell phones store a lot of information in what's called SQLite databases. I'll describe it as an Excel workbook on steroids, but it's a relational database that holds information. So specifically, what we're looking at here is a portion of the MMS SMS database from Ms. Pavlon's device. I've taken some columns out just to clean it up a little bit, but what's important to note is that underscore ID column is what's called a primary key. So each of these tables in this database have what's known as a primary key. Those primary keys are sequential and will never be repeated. So when we're looking here, this is where the text messages in Ms. Pavlon's device get stored. Any gaps in record ID would be indicative of information being deleted. So I took a snip of this because there's a large quantity of messages that have been deleted. And specifically, if we look at the underscore ID columns and the date timestamp columns, which are back to UTC time, so not local time, but 5 hours ahead, we're seeing between record ID 89 and record ID 470 that there's 380 missing record IDs. So that would mean between March 17th and June 17th, 2022, there are 380 deleted messages. Same with the next gap, underscore ID 470 to underscore ID 913. There's 442 deleted messages from Ms. Pavlon's device, which would have occurred between June 17th and August 15th, 2022. The last gap between underscore ID 913 and underscore ID 1007 indicates that there's 93 deleted entries between August 15th and September 14th, 2022. With this information, I'm not necessarily able to tell you what the context of any of those deleted messages were or what time they were deleted.
But you can tell me that a lot of messages are deleted from Ms. Pavlon's device during those time frames, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, previously you, I think, said something about if someone had their messages set to automatically delete after a short time period, that would be a setting on the phone that they would have, I guess, clicked on or set themselves?
It's possible, yes.
Okay. In this case, in reviewing Ms. Stephanie Pavlon's phone, did you see any indication that there was some type of setting that would automatically delete messages very quickly in time?
I don't recall seeing that setting. And I am seeing some older messages on here, specifically ones back to March of 2022.
So would that indicate to you that messages were not automatically set to delete after, say, 7 days or even 30 days?
That's correct.
Okay.
Oh no, I just did a Google search for the names of 2 sheriffs, 2 police chiefs, and 16 other cops arrested in Mississippi on Friday. Arrest me. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that he is searching for a body that's not disclosed, so it's not kind of the same. And you didn't kill any of these police officers. Why don't I have any more greens? I thought I had more greens, Jamie.
I don't know.
I have a lot of blues.
Uh-oh.
I'll use this. It's kind of look green.
Time for you to restock, huh?
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Jason. And on Mondays, we do tricep because if you want to bury your meat bat in a thick Latina's back fat, your arms better be effing swole or ice will snatch you up. Thank you, Brandon.
I'm glad Brandon's on the up and up.
Yeah, he'll save those people from ice.
I just want to direct your attention to those last 2 messages, 1007 and 1008. Those messages are from September 14th of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and those are the last 2 records that you observed in this database?
That's correct.
Okay. One of those is a message about the pressure washer that we just saw on one of those previous slides.
Yes, ma'am. Record ID 1007, which is on September 14th, 2022. If we convert that to local time, would be 1:23 a.m. And the message reads, "You still got that pressure washer for sale?" ?
Okay. Now, next slide, please. You've talked a lot about deleted calls to check the voicemail. How did you determine that that was the case, and what are we looking at here?
So similar to the last database that we just looked at, the call log.db is another SQLite database that keeps track of calls incoming and outgoing on the physical device. This is a query specifically for that voicemail retrieval number, which is 805-637-7243. That number is what the phone is dialing on T-Mobile's network to check voicemail. This was all the ones that I observed. Everything, we'll say from the first 8 entries, so they occur between June 8th, 2022 and August 3rd, 2022. None of those outgoing calls to voicemail were deleted. The next several entries between August 26th, 2022 to September 16th, 2022, that's 8 calls out to check voicemail. All but the very last one on September 16th was deleted.
So 7 of the 8 calls made to Stephanie Pavlon's phone and then routed to check voicemail, right, are deleted.
Correct. These are the user actually dialing out to check the voicemail, not necessarily those incoming and routed calls to voicemail.
Okay, so when I go on my phone and I say I want to check voicemail, your phone creates this database?
Not necessarily. It depends on your network.
The pressure washer. Why the hell is my camera constantly cutting in and out? The pressure washer has to do with she apparently had put on Facebook Marketplace that she was selling a pressure washer for her boss, and that's why we're talking about the pressure washer, because she didn't answer for a long time, and then all of a sudden someone wrote, "Hey, are you still interested?" And they didn't communicate again. So it was that weird guy we saw Friday who talked about the pressure washer.
This database would track all of your incoming and outgoing calls. I only have it displayed here to show the calls to voicemail.
Okay. And you wanted to show the calls to voicemail to see if there was any trends related to voicemails being deleted prior to August 23rd and after August 23rd?
Correct. I'm trying to establish if this is a normal pattern for the user to delete those calls. And it appears to me, based on my analysis, that it's not normal, at least between June, July, and early August, for the user to delete their voicemails or their calls to check voicemail. And then beginning August 26th, moving into the future, it appears the majority of the calls are getting deleted.
Okay. You also compiled a summary of all of the times that the police scanner app on Mr. Pahl's phone was checked or used. Is that correct?
Brought to focus, yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you the next slide. What are we looking at here?
So I used the application usage log on Mr. Pahl's device. What I did is I looked specifically for the police scanner app and only occurrences where it's brought to focus. So the app will keep track of.
So the day where he sees a massive police gathering outside of his orthopedic place is where he uses it the most. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, it's not much more noticeable. Yeah, of course he
Database will keep track of bring to focus events, suspended events where maybe it's pushed to background, or closed events where the application's being closed. So what I did is I looked at that database only for when the police scanner app was brought to focus and created this chart of times that the police scanner app was brought to focus.
Can I stop you there? When you say bring to focus, if I have 10 apps open on my phone and I click into the police scanner app, what does that mean?
So bring to focus is when it's displayed as the primary app that the user would see on the phone. So I don't know if you're all familiar, but you can suspend applications and push them to the background. They're still open, but they're not in focus anymore. So bringing to focus would be bringing that application for the user to view on the phone.
Okay, so that's meaning that that's what's on your screen and that is the main application being used by the user at that time?
Yes, that it's displayed to the user.
Displayed to the user, okay. So you're only checking the number of times that it's actually brought to focus and the main application being displayed?
Yes.
Okay. Why use the bring to focus rather than...
Well, most of the time, Jamie, sometimes there's a little too much man on man friction up in the tree mansion, which gets everyone hot and moist.
What the heck is happening right now?
I think it has something to do with Dave.
Yeah, I assume so.
I don't know. Thank you, Brandon.
Oh, sheesh.
No, we don't all swipe apps away, and people keep way too many tabs open. Don't get me
Oh my
started.
God, that is my pet peeve. My father is the worst. He'll have 850 tabs open, and I'll just be like, he'll ask me to do something with his phone, and I'll be like, that's the first thing I look at. I'm like, what is that?
It's running slow. Yeah. You are playing 5 games at the same time that you're Googling 37 different things.
You have 1,005 tabs open right now in the background.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, I didn't know we could close them. Well, figure it out.
Yeah.
some of those other types that you've described to the jury?
I guess the question that was brought to me and why I did this was how many times does he launch the application? So bringing to focus would be the user launching that application. So in terms of my analysis, the user suspending the application or closing it wasn't part of the investigative request.
Okay. And you also have a timeline at the bottom with showing the numbers in addition to the graph. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so on September 9th, the day that Ms. Pavlon's body was located by a construction worker and then ultimately the sheriff's department was called in, how many times did Mr. Pahl bring the police scanner app to focus?
66 times according to the device.
Was that significantly more than any other day in between August 21st and the date of his arrest on September 17th?
Yes.
Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Detective, you're aware that on September 17th, based on your review of Mr. Pahl's phone and this investigation, that Mr. Pahl sent a message to Mr. Kyle Hoback. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was that message?
It's that top right screenshot. The gray portion, for me, one's gray. The bottom one I will say is a little more blue. But the gray bubble with the black text is a message that Mr. Pahl's device sent to Mr. Hobeck. That message reads, "I have your info from one of my workers who wasn't doing her job. There's a note you're interested in a power washer that is for sale yet."
Okay, and you're also aware that a search warrant was executed at Mr. Pahl's residence on September 2nd of 2022, right?
September 17th,
Sorry.
2022,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you for correcting me. September 17th of 2022 is when a search warrant was executed.
Yes, ma'am.
And these are photographs of two of the items, Ms. Pavlon's purse and her water bottle, that were significant in the investigation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're also aware that Mr. Pahl was interviewed by Detective Fredericks and Detective Sykes on those days.
Yes, ma'am.
Next slide, please. Then tell me what you found on Mr. Marvin Pahl's phone regarding his web search history on September 19th.
So this would be from Marvin Pahl's computer, not the cell phone, but from Marvin Pahl's MacBook computer. On September 19th, at approximately
We've seen
2:11
this.
p.m., there's a Yahoo search for Stephanie Pavlon's. And at approximately 4:19 p.m., there's a web search through Yahoo for Stephanie Pavilion's obituary death.
Then on September 20th, this is a picture of a note that was left with Willow Park Apartment Management. You weren't necessarily involved in that, but you're aware that that occurred, right?
That's what I was told, yes.
Okay, next slide, please. Then you're aware that the investigation continues between September 19th of 2022 all the way to September 17th of 2023, right?
That's correct.
And you're aware that during that time period, Mr. Pahl ultimately left for the Philippines and returned in June of 2023. Is that correct?
That's what I was told, and these are the dates that I was provided, yes.
Okay. Next slide, please. Did you have an opportunity to review Mr. Matthew Pahl's web history on a new device that was obtained in September of 2023?
Yes.
Okay. What are we looking at here?
This is a portion of web history. It's not all inclusive of all the web history on, I'll say, his new device. But this is, it's not in order either, I apologize, but this is some of the web searches made on his new cell phone.
What were some web searches that were significant to your investigation that occurred in September of 2023?
Waukesha County death stats, coroners, postmortems.
Yeah, let's
and
cherry
inquests.
pick.
When does the medical examiner get involved? Searches for Pavlon's on GM Today.
See also search on August 7th of 2023, moving overseas and abroad, how to move your belongings to a new country.
Yes, he does make that search.
Okay. So a number of searches occurring in August and September, either about the medical examiner's office or obituaries or overseas moves.
He was planning this overseas
finally, the
move
next
for a
slide.
while.
Detective, ultimately, was Mr. Pahl
Goodness gracious.
arrested and a search was conducted at his residence on September 18th of 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a picture of a note that was located within Mr. Pahl's apartment on that date and time?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. You weren't involved necessarily in the search, but that's your understanding?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, that completes our timeline. I want to go back and clean up a few items that might have been a little confusing. I'm going to start with something that we haven't talked about yet. We're going to go back to August 8th of 2022. Were you asked as part of this investigation to review some text messages that were sent from Mr. Pahl to Ms. Stephanie Pavlon's on August 8th of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm going to ask that we review some of the video from August 8th. We're going to start with Defense Exhibit 456. All of these have previously been admitted, Judge, so I'm going to ask to first start with Exhibit 456. Okay, we can pause it here. Detective, what date and time are we looking at here on this video?
It appears to be August 8th, 2022, approximately 2:34 p.m. And this is the camera at the north end or north entry point of Willow Park Apartments.
Okay, and you recognize this to be Willow Park Apartments?
It does appear to be, yes.
Okay, we're going to play this video, please. Do you see Mr. Pahl's truck
Oh,
enter
let's
the camera
watch
there?
more of these videos. We haven't
Yes,
seen them
ma'am.
enough.
Exhibit 458 from defense, please.
Oh my goodness.
What time are we looking at here?
August 8th, 2022, at approximately 2:38 p.m.
And this is from a different camera from Channel 4?
Yes, this is more in the middle of the building.
Okay, we can play this video, please.
Why?
Oh,
What do we need to know?
I hate this case, Jamie. Who are we going to blame? Who found it?
I hate this prosecution.
Yeah.
The defense isn't all that great either.
Then Exhibit 459, please.
Hey, Judge, remember when you said
What
to
time
the
are we looking at on
defense,
this video,
we've
Detective?
seen this before.
Still on August 8th at approximately 2:59 p.m.
Okay, play please.
Big dog, you're killing me.
Okay, so Mr. Pahl exits the apartment at 2:59, and we saw the truck enter at 2:34. Does that sound right?
That sounds right, yes.
Okay. Now, if we can play Exhibit 461, please.
Tell me what you want me to know about this. I know they're going to, but god dang.
Sorry.
This is annoying.
Do you see Mr. Pahl walk by?
Yeah, he walked by. What? What of it?
Okay, we can stop it. That was at 3 o'clock. Detective, did you see Mr. Pahl walk by on the sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then did you see that same orange shirt that he was seen wearing exiting the apartment, kind of in the door of that video?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you see Mr. Pahl jimmying the door to kind of open and stay unlocked?
Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly what he was doing, but it appeared he was messing with the locking mechanism.
Okay.
Okay.
If we can then go to Exhibit 462, please. This is at what time, Detective?
Approximately 3:01 p.m.
Okay, play please.
Are they gonna go back and show us all the times that he apparently left the door open for her? Like, okay. And
Okay, so Detective, who was that entered at 3:01?
Miss Pavlons.
And as far as you can tell, approximately when the truck enters at 2:34 until Ms. Pavlon enters at 3:01, she's not seen on any of those cameras?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. And you would agree that Mr. Pahl changed his shirt in that time frame?
Yes.
Okay.
well, and
Now
she
we
had
can
pee
go
pants, so
is it 190? Okay. So, Detective, I'm going to ask you about August 23rd. When we first watched those PowerPoint slides last week on Friday, they're pretty zoomed out, some of those cell hawk mappings that you did. Why are they so far zoomed out for some of those time frames?
Just to show the totality. If I zoom in, you're not going to see the towers being used on the overall route of travel. So zoomed out to show the entire route of travel or the general route of travel.
Okay. I'm going to show first for the witness, Exhibit 190.
It's on my screen already.
Oh, I know, but she's got to go over to 190. Okay. What are we looking at in Exhibit 190?
So this is a screenshot that I queried a specific time frame. That time frame was 9:15 a.m. to about 10:53 a.m. This one specifically is zoomed out to see the towers being used for Ms. Pavlon's device during that time frame on August 23rd.
Okay. And did I ask you to specifically make note of the time frame from 10:33 a.m. to 10:53 a.m.?
Yes, you did.
Okay. What was the significance of that?
It's almost as if this guy cherry-picked a cherry boy to be his cherry cheesecake while sipping on a cherry coke and dreaming of a cherry popsicle. Thank you, Brandon, for breaking up the monotony of hearing him talk about the same thing for the 47,000th
Yeah.
time. I've seen that video more than, I don't know, the boob pics that Jamie sends me.
oh my god, stop it.
Well, I'm just saying. Marissa, can you do a background check on those things?
That time frame.
10:33 a.m. is when
Cherry picked, I know what is it.
Matthew Pahl checks out of his appointment, and then 10:53 a.m. is the approximate time that the devices start to leave the area of Orthopedic Associates.
Okay. And is this a somewhat zoomed in screenshot of that particular time period?
Yes, it's zoomed in enough that we can
cherry
still
boy
see
is a virgin.
the towers being used during 10:33 to 10:53 a.m.
And for which device are we looking at?
This is Pavlon's device.
Okay, I would move Exhibit 190 into evidence and permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
All right, 190 is admitted.
So, Detective, can you please explain to us, based on this screenshot of that animation, what it is that we see during this particular time frame, again, of 10:33 to 10:53.
Yes, so this is a screenshot of that time frame, and I guess of significance. Again, we have two different towers in a 20-minute time frame that are registering
No, Brendan.
the device. So let's say we were doing this to locate a missing person. Where these arcs cross is where we want to look. So you're looking at the large arc coming off of what I'll say the left tower, and then you get some smaller arcs off the right tower. But where those lines intersect would be a good
Don't
indication
Google
of where the
cherry
device
cheesecake.
is located or in that area.
Now, does the fact that there's a number of arcs mean that the device is making significant moves in distance?
Not necessarily.
What does that mean?
So we talked about it a long time ago, but these records are being generated automatically as long as the phone is on. It's measuring a delay in time from the tower to the device and back, and then it's estimating or inferring a distance based on that delay in time. So even if a device is stationary, you may see some variance to those arcs while the device is sitting still, just depending on those different time measurements that are being taken by the network.
Okay. Then did I ask you
Eric
to
Oak can be
zoom
sniffing.
in even further so we could see even closer to OAW for these same records?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Okay, if I can show just for the witness first, Exhibit 191. Oh, sorry, 193.
Don't Google
Detective, what are we
Cherry
looking
Coke
at in
either.
Exhibit 193?
This is very zoomed in on those records, and it's fixated on the area of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I would move Exhibit 193 into evidence and permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
All right, it's admitted.
So Detective, is
Don't-
this for that
Don't-
same time period that we just looked
Last
at in
witness.
Exhibit 1?
Sorry?
She said, didn't the prosecutor say they're going through 4 or 5 witnesses today? I said, I believe they said this was their last.
No, this is the last witness. And don't Google cherry popsicle either.
Oh my God. I'm not
All of them
Googling
has-
anything Brandon says.
Everything has to do with on the flow.
Oh, gross. Come on, Brandon.
90, just now further zoomed in.
Yes, ma'am.
And what does this information tell you that's significant to the investigation?
So we can ignore the straight up and down vertical line that kind of goes by the G in Gulf Road. That is actually the sector that's being used. So looking at the curve, the lines coming across, generally speaking, the ones moving up and down here are the ones from that tower out west. The ones moving kind of left to right are from the tower that's north of Orthopedic Associates. And that's where they're crisscrossing. So in general, in the area either on or just south of Orthopedic Associates.
Indicating that Ms. Pavlon's device was in the area of OAW from 10:33 to 10:53 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay, did I ask you to do the same thing for the records of Mr. Pahl?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if we can show just for the witness first. Exhibit 191, is this that zoomed out version of Mr. Pahl's records?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would move to admit Exhibit 191 and permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
It's admitted, you may publish.
Okay, Detective, same thing for Mr. Pahl's records. What are we looking at here that's significant?
Actually very similar to Ms. Pavlon's records, but you're seeing two different towers being used in the time frame of 10:33 to 10:53 a.m. There's numerous records here, but again, we're looking at the area in which they cross. So in that time frame from here, it's in the area of Orthopedic or just south thereof.
Okay, and then did you also complete a more zoomed in version of these records?
Yes, ma'am.
First for the witness, please, Exhibit 192. Are these those same records but now zoomed in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, move Exhibit 192 into evidence and permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
All right, it's admitted and you may publish.
Okay, Detective, once again, please tell us what we're looking at here in this zoomed in version.
So again, we can ignore the up and down vertical line, the perfectly up and down vertical line that kind of goes by the G in Gulf Road. The curved lines moving up and down, coming across are from that tower out west. The lines generally moving left to right are from the tower north of OAW. And again, we're looking at areas where they cross, which would be a good indicator of the approximate area where a device is located.
Okay, and that dark green area right under the N15, is that the wooded area where Ms. Pavlon's body was located?
That's somewhere in there, yes.
Okay. Now, based on these records and the records that we've shown previously, what, in your opinion, what time did Mr. Pahl's device and Ms. Pavlon's device leave the area of Orthopedic Associates?
It's right after this time frame, approximately 10:54 hours.
Okay,
that they
so
begin moving east.
From 10:33 a.m. to 10:53, both devices remain in the area of Orthopedic Associates after Mr. Pahl's appointment is complete?
Yes, ma'am.
and they don't begin moving until 10:54. Is that correct?
Approximately, yes.
Now, Mr. Pahl told investigators in his interview with Detective Seitz and Detective Fredericks that after he left OAW, he was driving up and down the streets looking for Ms. Pavlons. Based upon the records that you reviewed, was there any evidence to support that assertion?
I wouldn't say driving up and down. I mean, I guess it'd be possible that he's within close proximity to OAW, but I don't see any indication that he left the immediate area of OAW.
Okay. Certainly not that he drove west on Gulf Road?
No,
Okay.
I don't see anything moving west.
Okay. And so the first time that you see his device traveling outside the immediate vicinity of OAW is at 10:54, and then those records continue on to 1001 Delafield?
Correct, it's moving east at that time.
And his vehicle arrives at the Willow Park Apartments at about 11:03 on surveillance cameras?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's consistent with the timeline that you created here with Mr. Pahl leaving and driving directly to Willow Park Apartments?
Yes, ma'am.
It's about a 10-minute drive from OAW to Willow Park.
Approximately, yes.
I failed to show you a couple exhibits when we were talking about
No,
August 8th.
no,
So you saw
No.
those videos between 2:34 and 3:01. Did you also locate any evidence on Mr. Pahl's phone related to those videos in that approximate time frame?
There was some messaging from Mr. Pahl's device to Ms. Pavlon's device.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Sorry, can you pull up the different exhibits, please?
Holy heck.
I'm going to show you exhibit 467. I'm going to show that just for the witness first.
This has been 2 days of
We can
absolutely
scroll down a
nothing.
little bit. Detective, what are you looking at here?
I'm sorry, my screen didn't come on right away.
Oh, sure, I'll give you a second. Do you want us to scroll up? Would that be helpful?
Yes, if you could.
Okay, and then scroll down. What are we looking at here?
This is a portion of messages that were sent from Mr. Pahl's device to Ms. Pavlon's device on August 8th.
How can you tell that?
Looking at the source file, as well as prior to today's testimony, I specifically checked for these messages in Mr. Pahl's extraction.
Okay, so do you believe this is a fair and accurate depiction of the messages sent by Mr. Pahl to Ms. Pavlon's on August 8th at approximately 3:27 p.m.?
At least these three messages, yes.
Okay, I would move admission of Exhibit 467 and permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
All right, it's admitted, you may publish.
Okay, Detective, so tell me what we're looking at in line 61.
So in line 61, there's an outgoing text message from Matthew Pahl's device. We're looking at his device here, so that from owner is Mr. Pahl's device. And then to be 262-893, which is Ms. Pavlon's phone number. The top section in that next column is the body of the message, which reads, "Your piss stain." And then there's some source file information there as to where this information was recovered out of the extraction.
What about the next line, line
You are
62?
pissing.
That is a attachment that was sent. So it gets resized when it's sent as a message, but that's a thumbnail that we're looking at here. I believe there's a bigger picture of it.
Okay.
Shows what that attachment was.
We can show just to the witness first, Exhibit 468. Detective, is that same photograph that was sent in the messages that you just reviewed?
Yes, ma'am.
This appears to be a true and accurate depiction of that.
Yes, ma'am.
I would move Exhibit 468 into evidence, permission to publish.
Any objection?
No, sir.
So, you may publish it, it's admitted.
Detective, that's a larger photograph of the thumbnail size that you could see from the messages on August 8th.
Yes, it appears to be.
Okay. There's one other thing I wanted to ask you about some of those deleted messages. So, if you recall the deleted database that you were able to review, you indicated that 380 messages were deleted between March 17th and June 17th. Are you able to recover any of those messages?
No, ma'am. And just to clarify, the actual database isn't deleted, just specific records within that database.
Right. So the actual messages that would have been incoming and outgoing to Ms. Pavlon's phone are deleted in that time frame, you don't know when they're deleted though, right?
Correct.
Same thing with the time frame between June 17th and August 15th. 442 messages are deleted, but you can't say what messages have been deleted, right?
Correct.
Okay. And what you can say is that they are deleted before you review the phone sometime after September 17th of 2022.
That's correct.
Okay. And if there had been messages, say, between Stephanie Pavlons and Mr. Matthew Pahl that were in those deleted sections, you would have no idea what they say, right?
By looking at her device, no, I would not be able to tell you what they said.
All right, Detective, I don't have any other questions for you.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Galaviz.
Detective, on that last subject, when were those messages deleted?
I don't know when they were deleted.
Deleted it.
And is that for all three groups? You don't know exactly who deleted them or when they were deleted?
That's correct.
So the ones prior to August 23rd, they were on Ms. Pavlon's phone, true?
The ones that were deleted were on her phone?
Correct.
At some point they were, yes.
So any of those groups that were deleted before August 23rd, 2022, it's fair to say she could have deleted those messages, true?
Except for ones that we saw in other evidence, yes.
Now, had Mr. Pahl come from his residence on August 23rd and taken all the digital devices that he had on his person, to include his cell phone, Ms. Pavlon's cell phone, iPad, every digital device that he had on his person or his apartment, and dumped them in a river somewhere, what information could you provide to the jury based upon him dumping those digital devices on August 23rd, 2022?
Am I assuming that I eventually recover those devices
No.
from the body of water?
Never recovered them.
If we didn't recover the physical devices, we would be limited to most likely the call detail records and that advanced time and advance data for generalized locations. We'd
So
likely follow up with the warrants to various providers such as Google, Apple,
What are you
etc.,
talking about?
to try to obtain any information that was
said-
backed up from those devices prior to them being destroyed.
If he had destroyed
said-
the phones, what information could you have had? He didn't
Yeah,
destroy
he
the
said-
phones. Why are you asking?
I don't know. I thought that was weird because what if he went and dropped all his devices in a river?
Yeah,
What
what if he
information
shot
would you
her?
get from it? Okay.
Would you still believe that he had strangled her if she had two gunshot wounds to her head?
I think he's trying to imply like he didn't get rid of them. So, but
It's
it's-
stupid.
I know it is very stupid.
If you would have done that, your job would have been a lot more difficult.
More of a puzzle and missing a lot more information.
Same if you would have dumped the scanner and the dashboard video device, if you would have dumped that in the river on the 23rd of 2022 August, what information could you have gathered out of those devices, the scanner and the dashboard device?
But he did.
I'm not sure what scanner you're referencing, but if the dash cam was destroyed, same thing. We just would not have that evidence to corroborate maybe their cell phone records.
So you wouldn't have any evidence from the dashboard camera, true? If you would have dumped it or destroyed it on the 23rd of August?
If it was destroyed and we did not recover it, that's correct.
Same for the scanner?
I'm not sure what
Scanner's
scanner
on
you're
the app, he
referencing.
said.
Is the scanner inside the
And his co-counselor has to tell him what it is because he's too dumb to know what it is.
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Scanner's in the app.
He had 2 days to prepare for this, and he's already just rambling.
dashboard device, or where's the scanner from?
The scanner is an application on Mr. Paul's cell phone.
You
So if
should
you
know
would have
that,
dumped
lawyer.
the cell phone in the river, would you have got any scanner information?
Why
Not
are we
unless
talking
I
about a
recovered the
river?
physical device.
No further questions.
And clearly
Good
he
night.
didn't do any of that, true?
See, that's what you're
I don't
trying to
have
get
any
at, and it's
indication
so
that
dumb.
any physical devices were destroyed.
But clearly he didn't do any of that. He didn't go dump everything in a river. So, like, okay, we
I'm
get it.
showing
but-
you it's just a witness only exhibit number.
Don't show anything. Don't show
That's
anything.
exhibit number 621. Tell me when you can see
Good,
it.
don't show it.
I can see it now.
You're familiar with that exhibit, true?
Yes, sir.
Those are T-Mobile documents that you obtained, true? Or somebody from your department did?
Yes, this is a T-Mobile time in advance document, yes.
And why, what is that? What do you do with that?
So all the information that we talked about in terms of tower locations, sectors used, distances from the tower are contained within this document. So this document is what our software is reading and what I've been trained to analyze and map by hand if I had a lot of time.
And how do you, are you able to use your CellHawk device to, in conjunction with document 621 to develop your mapping?
Yes, sir.
Judge, can I publish this to the jury?
Any objection?
No.
All right, yes, you may. You're asking that it be admitted and published. Yes.
Yes, sir. No. I'm going to scroll down on this device. Do you see it? See the scrolling? It says confidence level high. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the first two columns there, end latitude and end longitude, and then the confidence rating, that's proprietary to the provider. That's not anything that's made public or anything that I could study or be taught on unless I worked for T-Mobile's network team. So we follow a scientific working group of digital evidence. They publish a lot of articles related to digital evidence, including historical cell site analysis. And they also indicate that those columns are proprietary. So their recommendation is that we would map tower, sector, and distance from tower and not use any estimated device location.
Is there like any kind of warning or from T-Mobile about the confidence level of this document 621?
Yes, there is.
What's the warning?
I don't know it verbatim. If you have the records, I could read it to you. But basically, it talks about them being based on a number of calculations. It gets assigned a confidence level. Low confidence is like, please don't quote me. I think it's greater than 300 meters. A medium confidence is 200 meters. And then a high confidence would be less than 100 meters. And then sorry.
My fault. I didn't. Did you finish what you were saying?
And then it just goes on to state that caution should be exercised when utilizing these records, and they should be corroborated with other information.
Right. Caution should be used for investigative purposes and prosecutorial purposes. True.
That's correct.
So the confidence level for high is within 100 meters?
I believe that's what they say, but again, it's proprietary. I don't know much about that.
And the confidence level for medium, do you know what, would you know what that was again?
Again, I don't use the confidence in the estimated device locations. I believe medium is 200 meters.
I'm showing you on this exhibit, it's 138 through 1407. It's going to take me a while to get down there.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the relevance. Detective Schrader has just said that he doesn't use these records for the mapping.
Yeah.
Overruled.
I really apologize.
Don't apologize, just ask your questions. I hate these people.
You almost made me choke on my water.
Take screenshots so you can open them and say, is this... Oh, let me just...
You had a whole weekend to kind of get it together.
You see lines 1338 through 1407?
I'm sorry, you said 1338 through,
137.
1407.
I'm sorry.
yes, I see them as you scroll.
And again, the confidence level is low,
On the estimated device location, yes.
and signifies when Mr. Paul was at OAW during that time that you're testifying to today in front of the jury. True?
Again, for the estimated device locations, yes, those are not included in my map.
So the confidence level while Mr. Paul was at OAW, according to T-Mobile, is low. True?
For the estimated device locations, yes, that is true.
And 300 meters equates to what, 6 football fields?
I think a little more than that, but yes.
Oh boy.
And I think you... I think at the end you had exhibit number, and this is a flash drive that I received from the prosecutor, so I'm not sure if it is the same as yours. Or, no, exhibit number, I think it is 193.
193.
Why can he be this slow?
You would like us to...
Yes, if you could publish, I think.
I don't think any coffee would help him. His problem is he's just slow.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, again, you identified that as being, what? What did you say was happening here with this exhibit?
So this is very zoomed in on records for Ms. Pavlon's device between 10:33 a.m. and 10:53 a.m. on August 23rd, 2022.
And Mr. Paul's device was similar, almost, if not exact, true?
Very similar, yes.
So, given that it's low confidence, right now the T-Mobile record is telling you this is low confidence, true?
It's talking about the estimated device locations, which aren't depicted in this map.
So Mr. Paul could have exited his appointment, went to his car, and entered the building looking for Ms. Pavlon, and there wouldn't be a change in this, true?
If he just went back in the building?
Correct.
No, I don't think we'd be able to see a change in this.
So if Mr. Paul would have entered his vehicle and driven around the building looking for Ms. Pavlon, there wouldn't be a change in this, true?
There would or would not be change?
Would not be a change.
Probably not enough to notice the change. There could be a little variance to it, but not enough to...
Good questions, but you are without confidence when you ask, so I don't think the jury will catch it.
say that he
No,
lost
because
or
I'm
did
not
anything.
even catching it.
So if Mr. Paul,
It's the same thing with was John O'Keefe in the house. It depends on what circle you go by, because GPS is not accurate. And this is what he's getting to, and it's good questioning, because he could have run around the house, run around looking for her for those 16 minutes that we don't know. He could have killed her in those 16 minutes. We just don't know, because his phone will look like it's the same geographical spot.
Yeah.
But again, it's just.
He doesn't hit hard with the questions to where you're like listening. You're trying to, he's fumbling, so you're trying to I'm like half the time I'm like, what's he saying? That's the problem.
And he asked a question before, what's that? What you And what?
Yeah.
And yes, he is choosing to kill us all softly, slowly.
Yeah.
As long as
See,
it's quietly, Jamie is happy.
So if Mr. Paul exited the parking lot, drove west on Gulf Road to the end of that slide, there wouldn't be a change to this exhibit, true?
There could be if records are being generated and he's moving west.
But as far as you know, there would not be a change. I mean, you're just speculating. If he drove west partially to look for Ms. Pavlons and drove back.
I feel like I have to speculate when you ask me a hypothetical. If he starts moving west, it depends if records are being generated. If he started to move west, eventually we're going to see a change in that movement.
Yeah, but you don't have any records to show that he didn't do that, true?
Jamie is like
That would be true.
Just die quiet.
Stop making so much noise.
And again, during his interview on September 17th, 2022, Mr. Paul told the detectives that he was using his devices and Ms. Pavlon's devices after she disappeared. Your investigator verifies that, true?
I don't know that he told investigators that, but I do see activity on her phone.
Do you know what the Scientific Working Group on Digital Evidence is?
Yes, sir, I mentioned that in my testimony.
What is that again?
The Scientific Working Group Digital Evidence.
Correct.
They establish a litany of documents, but pertaining to digital forensics and different scientific technology, including historical cell site analysis, and they vote and publish documents on best practices or recommendations when conducting this analysis.
So, I mean, it doesn't, with your Cell Hawk device or mapping, it doesn't pinpoint the exact location of where the person is with the device, true?
That's correct.
It just gives a
What
general
does
location,
that has to
true?
do with
That's
that
correct.
group?
And that's why you put down on your diagrams approximately, true?
Correct.
Well, both of you are her intended target in her murder case, so.
Put it back up for him. Is that what it was?
The chart was reviewed.
Correct.
Go to 202, please, and slide number 119, please.
Don't worry, Brandon. If I need to find you, I'll find you.
Again, this is the scanner information that you were able to obtain from Mr. Paul's scanning device, true?
That's correct.
And it indicates, starts at August 21st, 2022, true?
That's correct.
And as far as we know, Ms. Pavlons is still alive on that particular
Hey,
day,
Bill D.
true?
My understanding is yes.
And again, on August, there's 6 searches or device uses on August 22nd, 2022, true?
Correct.
And as far as we know, Ms. Pavlons is still alive on that particular day, true?
Correct.
And apparently Ms. Pavlons went missing August 23rd, 2022. How many times was this device used on the day she went missing?
0.
And on the 24th?
0.
And on the 25th?
2.
So between the 23rd and 25th, there was 2 times you used the device. 0 on the day she disappeared and 0 on the day the following day, true?
That's true.
And on the, I think it's the 26th, if I get that right, just 21?
That's correct.
What's the significance of that with anything in this case?
I don't know what exactly happened on the 26th, other than that's the first day I noted that Mr. Paul's device started checking for obituaries. There's communication where he's indicating he's worried about something. I don't know any specific significance to that date as to why there's an elevated number of uses.
So she's missing on the 23rd, and on the 26th, he's scanning the police, true?
That's correct.
And he's checking obituaries, true?
That's correct.
Because she's missing, true?
We didn't know that, but yes.
Okay. To put it that way is so.
And he continues to scan the following days, true? The 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, true?
That's correct.
What's the significance about the 31st into this case?
Again, I don't have anything specific why there would be a spike in activity, for lack of a better way to describe it, on August 31st.
Right, and as far as we all know, she's still missing, true?
Yes,
And he's still scanning, true?
that's correct.
And when you scan police, you can tell by that what contacts police are making with people generally in the public, true?
Generally speaking, yes.
Traffic stops, true?
Yes.
Maybe if they encounter somebody walking down the road, true?
Yes.
Somebody who possibly was arrested, that would be on the scanner, true?
Yes.
Yeah, you can find out a lot of information on a scanner.
Yeah.
Is he still checking the obituaries to see if there's been any mention of Miss Pavlon's during this time from the 26th to the 31st, as far as you know?
I don't remember exact dates, but I know there were searches periodically as time continued on, yes.
Because you indicated that the police so far have not told the public regarding well, strike that. The police didn't recover anything until the 9th as far as body of Miss Pavlon's, true?
Yes, that's when we were notified of, I guess, started this investigation.
But as far as we know, from August 26th to September 8th, he's still scanning, true?
That's correct in general, yes.
And as far as we know, he's still on.
No, we just saw the same videos, the same text that we have seen before. This time just delivered in a Canadian accent.
His pad or doing internet searches for obituaries, true?
That's correct.
Come on, sir.
And on the 9th is the day the police recovered Miss Pavlon's body in the woods, true?
Yes.
And he's scanning 66 times on that day?
Bringing the application to focus 66 times. I don't know specifics for how long the application was open based on this.
And you indicated that that scanning device is able to tell him, if he's listening, what's going on, true?
To some extent, yes.
But we don't know exactly what kind of scanning information is happening, or police chatter that's happening on September 9th, true?
I do not know exactly what he would have heard had he had the app open.
I mean, you didn't obtain that dispatch information or any kind of talk for that particular, as far as what was going on with the talking that was going on during that day between police networks and dispatch. Did you obtain that information?
I did not obtain that information.
So as far as you know, there could have been police talk about a female subject being located in the woods, true? On September 9th, 2022.
I'm sure something along those lines was included in the initial dispatch
Exactly.
to our deputies that responded out there, yes.
That's a good point. But
Yeah, but no one's catching it because everyone's
Exactly.
sleeping now.
And you indicated
Yeah,
that
'cause they-
after September 9th, 2022, there's more searches in the obituaries, true, from Mr. Pahl?
Yes, sir.
And now his dad, Marvin Pahl, is searching the obituaries, true?
I mean, that began before then, but yes, he is searching.
Him and his dad are both checking the obituaries for Stephanie Pavlon's, true?
Yes, that's correct.
When does the public get told, do you know, if you know, that it was Miss Pavlon's in the woods?
I don't recall a specific date for when or if we released that information.
Was it any time in September of 2022, if you know?
Exactly.
I don't recall, sir.
Was the public ever told?
To be honest, I don't know.
Do you know if Ms. Pavlons was ever received a funeral?
That I do not know.
Do you know if that funeral was ever, so you don't know if that she received a funeral?
I do not know if she had a funeral.
But on September 17th, we know that based upon prior testimony that Mr. Pahl was arrested by the police and interviewed, true?
Maybe not arrested, but yes, he was taken into custody and interviewed, yes.
And there's information that he was released on that particular day, but you would know, true?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
What?
When he was arrested, he was released. Did you ever get told that?
That he didn't remain in custody on
Correct.
September 7th? I knew he wasn't in custody. That's true.
And after he was released by the police, there's more obituary searches from him and Marvin Pahl after the 17th, true?
Are we still speaking of this device? Because I'm not
No,
sure.
obituary searches from Mr. Marvin Pahl's website, and Mr. Pahl's. They're still searching for the obituaries after the 17th, true?
At least on his new device, yes. I mean, that's a year later. The device that we were talking about here remained in our possession to my knowledge, so I'm not going to get any new information after he's released on that device.
So on the 17th, his original cell phone device was seized, true?
That's correct.
And he apparently obtained another cell phone, true?
At some point, yes.
And by looking at that second cell phone, you could tell he's still searching for the obituaries, true?
That's correct.
Because on the 17th, the jury heard that him being interviewed, he was never told what happened to Ms. Pavlons regarding her death, true?
I didn't hear the interview.
I mean, as far as you know, the police told him that she was still missing, true?
As far as I know, yes.
So after the 17th, he's still checking for the obituaries, true?
Can we make a deal? No more live trials till we find some crackhead pro se. Until then, we'll just do interpretive dance of old cases.
On his new device, we did recover searches. So in 2023, when we recovered his new device, there was still internet searches on there for obituaries, yes.
I need to just
And
play
Marvin
traffic
Pahl's
stop
father was
videos.
also checking the obituaries for Stephanie Pavlons, true?
That's correct.
2 hours a day, Jamie, and we're out of here. True?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Everyone would love if we only streamed.
Again, as far as you know,
Yeah.
his devices were never destroyed from August 23rd until you took custody of them, true?
I don't have any indication of things being destroyed.
So after the 17th, after his interview with the police, he still didn't destroy anything, true?
I guess I'm not sure if I would be able to answer that.
Find better cases.
And you saw the photographs of, did you take part in the search of Mr. Pahl's residence on September 17, 2022?
I think I was there, yes.
In all of, from the 23rd to the 17th, he had not, obviously you found Ms. Pavlon's property in his apartment, true?
That's correct.
Never threw any of that out, true?
I can't speak to what else may have been there, but we did recover her purse and water bottle, yes.
And you saw that video on August 23rd when he walked into the Willow Park's apartment after returning from his orthopedic appointment, true?
That's true.
It was around 11:03, 11:06, true?
Yes, sir.
And when he's walking into that north entry door, channel 7, I believe it is, he's not hiding that water bottle, true?
The first time he enters at approximately like 11:14, he doesn't appear to be concealing anything at that time.
Now you can see the water bottle right in his hands, true?
That's correct.
And did you continuously look at those videos from the 23rd until the rest of that evening? You yourself?
From Willow Park,
Yes.
I can't say that I watched every video on the 23rd from that day, from Willow
Let's
Park.
do it again. Let's watch all the videos.
Right, but after he goes into his apartment with the water bottle and he apparently exits the building again with a different shirt, true?
That's correct.
But prior to exiting, he goes checks his mail in the mail room, true?
I'm not sure.
I mean, he doesn't go upstairs, put the water bottle away and come back down the north door exit.
Jamie,
True?
Marissa blames you.
I don't recall.
No, whatever.
She's so mean to you, Jamie. I don't know why.
No, that wasn't what she meant. She meant you did.
That's racism. Oh, move on. Let me just. It's like me trying to find something on the internet. I'll just go in somewhere and click a little bit, and then I'll click somewhere else, and all of a sudden, my internet search history looks kind of like Lindsay Gaetani's.
Do you recall what time he exited the building after he arrived the first time, around 11 o'clock? If you can't, I'll play you the video.
I think it's approximately 12:19 to 12:21 p.m. maybe.
And I'm going to play for you exhibit number 535. I believe this has been published to the jury.
Yeah, I would love a cheesesteak. Because it's 20 to 7 at night.
Cheesesteak or a Philly cheesesteak?
You see exhibit number 535 in front of you?
Yes, sir, I do.
And this is what he does prior to exiting the building. True?
Yeah, it appears they thought he left at 12:19, so this would be right before he exits door 4.
And it depicts him checking his mailbox. True?
I'm still watching, but yes, it appears that's what he's doing.
And other than changing his shirt, I mean, he appears to be still in his same pants and socks, shoes, and tennis
Only
shoes.
shirts
too,
and
or-
pants.
I guess it appears that way. I'd have to see him coming back to refresh my memory on what clothes he had on.
But as far as that video, you don't see any kind of debris on his tennis shoes or socks or shorts, do you?
Did you say debris?
Yeah, any dirt, grass?
No, I don't.
I know, that's a huge mailer room. I mean, like, usually they just have the
Krusty is the 25th.
And let me play you the video
Little
again
boxes.
that depicts him entering the building.
No, don't show them any of that. Don't show them any of that.
This is exhibit number 534.
The 12th. Oh, that's the other case. She has so many cases.
Do you see exhibit number 534?
Yes, sir, I see it.
And again, this is him entering the building as soon as he parked his vehicle, shortly after he parked his vehicle, true?
Yeah, about 10 minutes, yes.
And you see the water bottle in his hands. True, it's not concealed, is it?
That's correct.
Yeah, normally they're not live streamed.
Do you see his pants and shoes? You can't see any dirt, grass,
Holy
or
shirts and pants.
anything like you walked in a field. True?
I don't see anything standing out in this video, no.
That's him walking up the stairs, true? The rear of it?
Correct.
I mean, you could see his shirt that he's wearing, true?
I can see his shirt, yes.
You don't see any kind of like sweats or like he had been sweating at all on his shirt, do you?
No, it doesn't appear that way, no.
The back of his shoes seem to be clean, true? The socks?
I mean, to be fair, his shoes are black. It's very hard to see, and his pants are camouflage.
But you don't-
I don't see anything, no.
And it was a hot day that day, August 23rd,
Yeah,
2022,
exactly.
true?
I don't recall what the weather was.
It's in the summer, true? August?
middle of August
Sure,
in the
it's-
Midwest. That's hot.
And the jury was shown a video, and I'll show it to you just to be fair.
Don't show us any videos. Hit the 3 points. His GPS could have been all over the place. You can't say where he was exactly. 2, he didn't destroy anything, and he didn't start looking for her obituary until
Exhibit number 574.
he saw all the police. And 3, he left the country and came back.
This has already been published, Judge. You see Mr. Paul on the video, too?
Yes, I do.
And he appears to have shopping bags on that cart, true?
Yes, it looks like groceries.
And did you ever, I mean, if you had gone to Walmart to buy those groceries, you were told that, did you ever check with Walmart with the receipt that would indicate to the jury what he had in the grocery bags?
Did I personally? No, I did not check with Walmart for a receipt.
Did any from your,
What
anybody
if
from your
any
department go check
relevance
with
does it
Walmart to see
have?
what he had bought in that day?
I do not know the answer to that.
Would that have been possible to check with Walmart to see what was on in those bags?
Everything is possible.
It's probably possible, depends on their point of sale system, but some places, yes, we would be able to get a receipt and see what was purchased.
So if I told you there was food for him and Miss Pavlon's in that bag, you would know any different, true?
I don't know how I would know that.
True. If there was feminine products in those bags, you would know any different, true?
That's true.
But if you would have got the receipt, that might have been able to tell you that he bought feminine products on that day?
Possibly, yes.
Did you check? I mean, we saw Miss Pavlon's phone where apparently she deleted text messages or information from her phone, true?
I don't know who deleted the information from her phone.
But there was deleted text messages, true?
That's correct.
Did you check Mr. Paul's phone to see if there was deleted text messages on his phone?
To some extent, I don't recall how in-depth that analysis was, though.
But had he deleted similar messages on his phone, you probably would have noted that, true?
I don't recall if that request was made to me. I don't recall specifically analyzing the database on his phone as I did on hers.
Do these cell phones have limited storage?
At some point, yes. I don't know the exact capacity of these devices, though.
So if a cell phone was to reach its capacity, would it be necessary to delete messages?
No.
Yes, if you wanted to store more information, you'd probably get some type of a warning saying that your storage is running out, and it would maybe offer you some guidance in what you could delete.
Now, you indicated that you were given cell phones from Mr. Paul, true?
Mr. Paul, yes?
Ms. Pavlon's, true?
Yes?
Did you ever obtain a Marvin Paul, true?
I don't recall seeing Marvin Paul's cell phone.
So you didn't delete anything from Marvin Paul's cell phone?
I didn't
I
delete
would
anything.
definitely not delete anything from Marvin Paul's cell phone.
Did you download anything from Marvin Paul's cell phone?
Me personally, no.
How about Mr. Paul's mother, her cell phone?
I don't recall forensically examining those devices.
There was one thing I was going to show you.
No, don't do it.
I think it was slide 82 on your.
You want that up?
Yes, I think it's been published already, True. Can you please put it, show it to the witness?
Like 82.
All right.
Slide 82, exhibit 2.
At this point, I just want him found guilty in 5 minutes so we can get out of here.
I think yours doesn't match with
Cut it out.
yours.
This guy is really annoying me now, and he's the exact reason why we left the Vicene trial, because he couldn't ask a question without it taking 25 minutes.
I'm showing you it's been marked as exhibit number 81.
And
Can
we've
you see
got this
that?
far. That's the only reason we're not
Exhibit
leaving.
202, slide 81. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Again, you played this for the jury, True?
Yes, sir, it played.
And
Today, Junior.
yeah, okay. Can you stop it when I tell you to stop it? I can't.
Let's watch another video that
Could
we
you start
already
this for the
watched
jury?
3 times.
Again, this is the front of Orthopedics Associates, True?
That's correct.
Heading west, True?
Correct.
Could you stop it there? No, it's stopping it at, my monitor says 10825, True?
I see that, yes.
And you see what's west of Orthopedics. Are those woods?
They appear to be trees, yes.
Can you keep going? Can you stop it there? Those are clearly woods on the west side of Orthopedics, true?
I would agree that that looks like woods, yes.
So there's woods on the west side of Orthopedics and apparently on the east side, true?
Yes, that's true.
Could you keep going, please? Just stop it right there. Now, as far as we know, there's no exit onto Gulf Road on this part of Orthopedics building, true?
I do not believe there is an exit onto Gulf Road on the west end of this parking lot.
So the only entry and exit is on the east side, true?
That is correct.
And that's where all the traffic is coming and going from the east side, true?
Yes, that's correct.
On this side, the west side, there apparently is no traffic. Would you say that's true?
I don't see any traffic in this video, no.
Could you keep going? Could you stop it right there? Do you see Orthopedics building on your right?
I do.
On the back end of that building, there appears to be no windows whatsoever, true?
Where
Sir,
do you want to
from
go
what I
with
can
all
see
these
here, I don't see any
windows?
windows, I guess, in the back half. I see some windows immediately on the right here.
And we're approaching the north part of the building, true?
Correct. The northwest corner is what we're looking at.
And behind the building is more woods, true?
Yeah, I mean, there's a golf course back there, and yes, trees. Maybe you'd call it woods, sure.
Could you keep going, please? Can you stop it, please? So, I mean, you can clear. Okay. This is 109. I think it's, is that it? 10902, true?
Yes, I see that.
And again, that clearly shows the woods behind Orthopedics, true?
Yes.
Are you aware there's a swamp back there also?
I don't know that particularly. There could be.
A swamp?
Could you keep playing too? Keep playing, please. Could you stop it right there? Do you see the south side of the building of orthopedics?
I cannot see the south side in this. We're looking at the north wall.
I think it's the north side. You see the north side of the building?
Yeah, this is the north side of the building.
Again, this corner, do you see no windows on that, absolutely no windows on that side
What,
of the building, true?
if
On this
any-
end of the building.
Yeah, what would be the northwest corner? I see it doesn't appear to be any windows on there.
So on this corner of the building, there's absolutely no windows, true? On the west
This is
side
the
and
corner
north
where
side of
she
the building,
died.
true?
From what I've seen in this dash cam, yes, the northwest corner, I do.
Mr. Idiot Lawyer. The building is here. The entrance is over here. Right now, you are on this corner talking about, oh, is there any windows? She's dead over here. So the windows, the big windows that we can see in the corner around this end is the one that you are focused on. She's not dead over here. He's really pissing me off because it's just stupidity by this time. There is a very big window looking straight over to the area she's gone, but he keeps. Can you see the south side? No, we are looking at the north side. I believe this is the north side. You don't see any windows. Jamie Marissa, she should find some better cases than this.
Not see any windows on the building.
Oh, she's gonna light
And
you on
again,
fire.
this side of the building has, you don't see anybody walking in the area, true?
In this video, no, I did not see anybody
You
walking.
didn't see any cars coming in and going down this road, did you?
No, I did not.
There appears to be no individuals and no traffic on this side of the building, true?
True.
Could you keep playing it, please? Thank you. Would I be safe to say that all the traffic of individuals and vehicles are all on the opposite side of this building, true?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
It's safe to say all the patients coming into orthopedics are coming in from the other side of the building, true?
I guess, yeah, I did probably enter the main entrance on the south side of this building, yes.
And again, the golf road, frontage road is on that other side of the building, true?
That's correct.
Straight ahead is woods and the golf course, true?
That's correct.
Again, I asked you, if Mr. Paul is circling around the building looking for Ms. Pavlon's, your mapping wouldn't indicate anything different than that, true? Your self-halt mapping?
Likely not enough to show that he's moving around the building, that's correct.
I have nothing further, Judge.
All right, any redirect?
There is a God.
All right.
There is a God.
I have
No, you don't have any
All right, let's
redirect.
take a break
You
now.
have
It's
no
just before
direct.
noon, and let's come back at 1 o'clock. Yeah, everybody okay with that? All right, 1 o'clock. Before we break,
No,
Mr. Alves, no?
No, no, sir.
Okay, very good. We'll see you. Please be ready to go at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Oh, thank God. Because of course, my earphones just buzzed at me and goes, low battery. And I'm like, will you ever end this? We go on lunch.
The state's going to rest when we come back.
Yeah.
And then he's going to stumble through a motion to dismiss that's probably going to take him 4 hours. Can I show you a video? I hate the state. I hate the defense. I hate everything about this case. I hate that the hardest evidence so far is he had her phone. We don't even know how she died. I hate this
We
case.
don't. That's the biggest thing. We can speculate all day because he was running around and he had her phone and these messages were deleted and he's telling these people like something bad's happened. I'm Googling this, I'm Googling. We don't even know how the woman died. That's my biggest problem.
Well, my biggest problem is it's a circumstantial case. Circumstantial cases are okay. But when you can't do anything but show me him and her walking out on a door and say, "Oh, isn't that suspicious?" And then you show they did it 20 other times, then you haven't proven anything. When you can't tell me how she died and how he got her into the woods and why he had no signs of being in a fight with her. Again,
Yeah.
if she left her water bottle and her purse and he used her phone because, hey, she's a drug addict who would disappear. Well, fuck it, I'll use her phone. I'm paying for it anyway. He didn't start. The three things the defense should focus on: one, no one knows how she died. Two, you have no evidence pointing to him trying to cover anything, hide anything. There's no DNA evidence. There is nothing that can link her to it. And that, he was looking at obituaries. He had his phone scanner that he used before that day. We know that. We saw that he had used that police scanner. He sees a ton of police cars. He's interested. What the hell's happening outside of my orthopedic office? He hears white female, potentially X years old. And he thinks, oh my God, that could be her. But I have her phone. Let me try and goggle. Reasonable doubt. And again, he leaves the country. Yeah, but he comes right back. He's planning to leave the country, but he comes right back after he left the country.
Yeah, and today one of my biggest problems too was, oh God, I just lost my train of thought because I was reading chat.
He's selling her pill. Isn't him paying for that? Well, if he didn't do it, she would be eating all of her pills and they would have no phones. So
Yeah,
yes, he is paying her bills.
she didn't have a job.
Yeah, she had no job. She had some sustained income, but if you listen to the mom's testimony, he paid her. Yes,
Yeah,
other than
biggest thing for me.
substantial evidence that was, other than the substantial evidence that was pushed, what substantial evidence was pushed?
I don't know. I agree. Circumstantial evidence can be good, but usually we have also a cause of death in those circumstances. Usually, like, oh, well, this person was, pew-pewed. Well, then you navigate the circumstances around it, and you're like, okay, yeah. But when you don't even have how this woman passed away, how does all of this other stuff matter? We already knew they were toxic with each other. They had a drug addiction. They kind of just meandered around and did their thing. And she wasn't. Oh, and that's what it was. With the scanner stuff, they wanted to sit here and just go on and on and on about how it was never, she wasn't announced missing. They didn't say anything about it until after they announced it. But they are talking about it on the scanner. They say that stuff. He even said he thinks probably they mentioned it was a female.
Yeah, and that's
so
the big.
He could have heard that and thought.
But that idiot couldn't get that straight answer because he's. Can I show you?
Yeah. Well, that's the stuff they needed a hammer on was you still don't know how she passed away. And when you were like, every time they wanted to say, Yeah, but when did you announce her missing? She wasn't missing. Well, they might not have announced her missing, but he might have thought something was up. Because maybe, yeah, she does disappear, but then this was a weird time for her to like leave her phone and stuff for a couple days and really not reach out or try to get it. You know, it's possible. And he thought something was up.
Did he take her pills or just sell them? If you go back and listen to the testimony, he gave her some, he took some, and then most likely sold some. That was covered by Thursday afternoon, I believe, was the day they talked about her diary entries, where she talked about he wouldn't give her more pills and she wanted this and that amount. So he was controlling her pills and her Suboxone patches. But again, who says because she OD'd on a bottle of, or tried to OD on a bottle of Oxy before?
Yeah.
So again, what if she stole that glass of Oxy again and this time it worked?
It's only a matter of time if you're playing those games, you know?
Yeah.
Who's to say she didn't want to do it on purpose? She was like, I'm out of here. She's had a rough day. She's just finally going to do it.
Or
We
again,
don't know.
she passed away of natural causes because she
Possible.
had, you could see how skinny she was and she had seizures. She just fell over and died. It could also happen because no one knows how she died. There's no blunt force trauma. There's no stabulations. There's nothing to indicate. And to me, that's the problem with this circumstance. If she had shown up in 5 body parts, I would have said, interesting. Kind of like the Waffle House case. But in the Waffle House case, there was also a ton of circumstantial evidence that wasn't that clear either. And there were so many other possible people who could have done something. In this case, there's not a lot of possible people who could have done something. But in this case, there's a possibility that she could have died in at least 3 different ways, in my opinion. Natural causes, murder, or drug overdose. And to me, that's just not enough, especially when we don't have any indication. You didn't see him change his behavior.
No.
He went straight home, went to his apartment, checked his mail. He did exactly the same thing he did all the time. Well, maybe he was that smart. Well, he wasn't smart enough to get rid of her phone. So again, it's the smartest, dumbest criminal paradox. And I just don't see where we are going.
Well,
Jamie, I'm going
his
to jump off.
interview and all that stuff just did not seem very like sketchy to me in any way. It
No.
seemed like genuine, but yeah.
I'm going to jump off, going to go make me some food, and we'll be back at 1 for more low energy trial coverage, because that's what we need to get the week started. Everyone write a petition to Marissa to find better cases.
Oh my God.
Again, I don't blame Marissa, but Jamie does.